Excited to be here.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome to 4-Star Chicago Sports. This is the Barely There Live. Screwed that all up. The Barely There podcast. It's live. Those things happen. Who cares? We're moving on. We're moving on to Baltimore, where the Bears are looking for their fifth straight win. They're looking for their third straight road win, and we got all the details. We're going to break it down. We're going to go deep inside this one right after this.
Windy City banners rocking 4 stars aligned. Dynasty dreams rise, Bulls in their prime. Cubs curse shattered, the victory divine. Fields be running, clock ticking on my timeline. Shot-town heroes, legends never fade. Black Hawks flying, cutting ice with the blade. White Sox diamonds, the Southside parade. 4 stars shine bright, legacies they made. Mike with the crown, air rain, no dispute. Sweetness in the backfield, Walter in pursuit. Bear down Sunday's midfield, battles cute. Chicago.
What up, everybody? We got Squeegee and Bizzo Joe. They're anxious and excited to break down this Bears-Ravens game, and we're excited to have you guys in the chat. Fire it up all day, boys. Bruja just jumped in the house. Let's kick this thing off. How are my boys, Kyle and Jason, doing this week?
I'm doing great, man. I got a nice little vacation, so I'm refreshed and ready to go. Didn't miss the game, not 1 second of it during the Disney trip. Phone was on even during some of the rides, which I'm sure probably pissed my family off, but I don't care. Otherwise, hey, man, I'm ready for another game, dude, and hopefully another win. Kyle, what about you, buddy?
I'm excited, man. This might be the most excited I've been all season for this Bears team. Obviously, week 1 was fun with Minnesota, division game, and you don't know what to expect from the Chicago Bears. But now that you see this team can string some wins together and they're facing a really good opponent if Lamar Jackson plays, we should find out pretty soon here who the Chicago Bears are.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy as we see the Bears entering this competition against the Baltimore Ravens. They're in Baltimore at 4-2. The Ravens are 1-5, but the Lamar effect, we don't know if he's going to play, but I think that Lamar effect has the spread at 7 points. The 2-time NFL MVP did not participate in Monday or Tuesday's practice. He did get into a limited fashion today, the first time he suited up or touched a football field since September 28th against the Kansas City Chiefs. So this is a little exciting because I really want to see Lamar play. I want to see everybody back for this Ravens team. I want to see where this Bears team is, where we got to continue to improve. We got the injury reports for today, and for the Ravens, with the exception of the question mark around their best player, they seem to be pretty healthy. Zay Flowers was full. Kyle Hamilton was limited, but Kyle Hamilton did take to the mic and said he is 100% playing this weekend. Marlon Humphrey out with an illness. We talk more about Lamar. Patrick Ricard, their fullback, will actually be making his season debut. Roquan will be returning. Ronnie Staley will be returning. And Dontez Walker, I don't even know who that guy is. He wide receiver with a full practice. On the Bears side of things, we had, I guess Roquan got hurt on the one carry he had. Welcome back, DJ Moore.
It's so weird.
And Swift, all out of practice. Grady Jarrett, Braxton Jones, Cairo Santos, and Nashawn Wright, all limited. Austin Booker was full again, and I'm not even going to try it. Was a full.
Bamija.
There you go.
Naka.
Not gonna. So it's very interesting as we're getting into this Ravens game here. And just a little background: the Bears, all time they played the Ravens 7 times. They're 4-3. They played them back in 2021, where possible starter Tyler Huntley led them to a 16-13 victory at Muddy Soldier Field. That was a 2013 game in which the Bears won. It was a Muddy Soldier Field. 2021, it was a beautiful weather day in which Tyler Huntley led a backup squad of Ravens over the Chicago Bears. So, boys, talk to me. What's got your engines fired up for this Sunday in Baltimore?
There's a lot of good storylines, honestly, and we were talking about it in the room here before we started. I think we're all in agreement too. I think it's better if Lamar starts as a fan, obviously, because it should be a better game. But to really test and see what the Bears look like, I'm really not worried about Roquan Smith. But it is interesting to see, how the Bears handle him and how he handles the Bears offense. I'd really not like to see him do well in this game. And then there's still the fact that the Bears run defense has gotten slightly better, but it's Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry is still Derrick Henry. I don't know why they're not handing him the ball. I think maybe they're just getting behind and they're starting to pass more. I would still just give him the ball anyways, because the guy could break a 40-yard run at any moment, anytime in the game. And then, like you were just saying, all these guys are back, and the Bears, I'm hoping a lot of these did not practice. I'm hoping it's just veteran rest days. Like, hey, man, we got to sit you out for now. Because, without DeAndre Swift and Roquan Johnson, we have Kyle Monungai at running back and Travis Homer. And that's it. There's nobody else. So really need DeAndre. He's been playing well, 2 back-to-back over 100-yard games. So really looking forward to seeing him continue that streak. But most of all, the Bears lose this game because Lamar is playing. Like we were saying before, I want it to be a shootout. We lose 35-31, something like that. But I don't want to see Bears lose, 31-6. We got to stop kicking field goals in the red zone and start scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, you certainly start to feel like the Bears are kind of a team here. Like you talked about, Sean, just the amount of road games the Bears are playing right here is tough to it's tough to win on the road against anybody. Guys. It doesn't have to be a great team. On the road, the NFL is not. Yeah, here we are, third in a row. Baltimore Ravens. If Lamar Jackson plays, certainly. If they are healthy and they're firing on all cylinders, we're going to see what the Bears made of pretty quick, guys. Because, like Jason said, Derrick Henry, the Bears' rushing defense has been really good for the last few games. But you're talking about guys like Corey Krosky Merritt or an aging Alvin Kamara. Derrick Henry is always going to be Derrick Henry until he hangs it up. He's still one of the best players in the NFL. Sean, I think you said he had 3 games in a row with less than 3 yards of carry or something, and he's still averaging over 5 yards of carry on the season. That just shows you how good he is. But yeah, man, if Bears fans want to know where this team is according to the rest of the league, you're going to find out on Sunday if Lamar Jackson plays for sure. Now, if Lamar Jackson doesn't play and they're playing Cooper Rush, I fully expect the Chicago Bears to win this game because the Ravens defense, even when healthy, has not been good this season. And even when Lamar Jackson was healthy, guys, remember, he was 1-3 to start the season. Now, granted, that's losses to the Bills, the Chiefs, the Lions, really good football teams. But the Bears do have one of the best offenses in the NFL in terms of points per game. So I think they can take advantage of this Ravens defense. And if Lamar plays, I think we're going to see a shootout.
Yeah. And Bears are averaging 21 points at least a game. Only team in NFL to do that.
25.3 points per game.
Yeah, they're the only team to have over 21 every game this season.
Yeah, and there's some things in here that are interesting. And the Ravens season average is 24 points per game. And it's obviously skewed a little bit with Lamar Jackson being out. They've scored at least 20 points in 4 of his starts, for a total of 131 points plus 40 points, over 40 points twice this season. When Lamar is under center, the Bears obviously 24-21, 41-25, 25-26 to their first 6. So just a little gambling insight. I would definitely, the over sitting at 50.5. I'm taking 50 in the hook and I'm walking away with some money in my pocket, especially it's going to be a nice day. The weather looks good. I expect the run game to continue in this football game. I think it's the way that you're going to keep Lamar Jackson off the field if he is playing, slow down that offense, because I think the less reps that he has, maybe in this first game we get lucky. He has to shake off the rust. Remember, he hasn't played in 4 straight weeks, so maybe he will be a little rusty. He doesn't throw interceptions. Maybe we'll get him to throw a bad pick. He has been sacked a lot. That is something that the Bears have a problem with, but something that the Ravens are giving up. So it's counterpoint. There's so many things to look at in this game, especially. And Kyle, we talked about this. I know you and I have. I don't know if Jason and I have. Before the season, we thought that this Ravens team from top to bottom was the most complete roster in the NFL.
Next to maybe Minnesota. Yeah.
Yeah. And they've kind of collapsed here. But at the same time, this Ravens team is no joke. And I was kind of picking on Derrick Henry because I drafted him, early in my fantasy league. And, he opened up against the Bills for $169, averaged almost 10 yards a carry. But then 2.1, 4.2, 5.3, 2.2, and 5.1. He is averaging 5. But he's not really touching the ball a lot. I mean, his carries 11, 12, 8, 15. You really want to see that trend continue because if the Bears could slow him down, we got a much better chance.
And Sean, he said fumbling issues. He's had fumbling issues this season as well, which is
which is really bad. Like I think he's had 2 or 3 this year, and I think the rest of his career he's only had like 2 or 3.
And two of them in particular this year, I know for sure, just off of recent memory, were game losers, man. Yep. Game losers.
Yeah, and you know what? The Ravens players are feeling this. Today in his press conference, Kyle Hamilton said, it's not going to be anarchy around here. This is the time you got to stick together. We're really testing ourselves. It's inexcusable. Everybody can say what they want about our schedule being tough. I don't really like that excuse. We're 1-5 people. We're 1-5, and people are coming in here thinking we're slim pickings. Now, and a free win, everyone's going to get our best shot. And that's one guy you don't want fired up because Kyle Hamilton is one of the best safeties in the league. He's going to be there. What's that?
Probably the best safety in the
NFL. Probably right. Probably right. But you know what? The big thing is here, too. They're getting Roquan Smith back. We heard Coach Johnson talk about him today, say you got to respect this guy's speed east to west. He knows where the ball's going to be. He anticipates very well. We know this from the multiple-time All-Pro, Pro Bowl player in Roquan. So this defense is getting a little healthier. And we know Roquan Smith is coming in this game firing on all cylinders. He wants to show the Bears up 15, 16 tackles for loss, strip sack, fumbles. He wants all of it. He wants all the smoke against the Bears. What is your guys' biggest your biggest problem that you think the Bears will have against the Ravens, outside of saying we have Lamar Jackson, something on the defensive side of the ball that worries you, the inconsistency of one Caleb Williams, whose completion percentage is way at the bottom of the league. His accuracy has been off, coming off the heels of probably one of his worst professional performances against the Saints last week. So when it comes to this, and you take out the obvious, the Derrick Henry, the Lamar Jackson, give me some other key points, boys, that really worry you about this Ravens football team.
I think it's the run defense again. And honestly, I don't think it's Caleb because I think they're giving up almost 250 yards, Baltimore is, in the air per game this year. And again, that's the whole season, not just while Kyle Hamilton was out. So I think their defense is pretty porous. They're really, really bad. I think Dallas is the worst in passing yards per game allowed. So, if we could duplicate our performance against Dallas, I think Caleb will be just fine in the passing game. The run stoppage, though, I know we've had 2 decent games with it right now. Last week was really good, but, I need to see it like week in and week out to really understand it. And I think that's a big test for the Bears here is that run defense. I think our offense should come around. I'm not saying we're going to score 60 points, but again, if we lose, we better lose 35-30. You know what I mean? I want to score touchdowns in the red zone. So that would probably be my next biggest issue. We're getting the ball down the field. We're moving the ball down the field. We're just not getting the 7 points. We're settling for 3 over and over and over again. So those are my 2 big takes. Kyle, I don't know what you think. Maybe you're the same, or maybe you're seeing something I'm not, but love to hear it.
Yeah, real quick, I'm just going to give a shout out to the chat here, guys. We have John S. in the house, Brew Hall's in the house, Squeegee's in the house, obviously Vizzo Joe, breaking news Bruce, who's always here. And real quick, Brewhouse said can't go head to head Tucker versus Moody. Tucker is no longer on the Ravens. I don't think he's in the NFL anymore after his off season.
Oh yeah, he's not.
I don't think he's playing in the NFL ever again. Yeah, and I also think it's going to be Kyle Stantis this week. I don't think it's going to be Moody. But yeah, thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Sean, the biggest storyline to me for this game is the Ravens are in desperation mode, and any team in desperation mode, whether it be the Browns, Jets, Saints, Ravens, Chiefs, is a scary team in the NFL. I think this team is going to look a lot better on Sunday than they have in recent weeks, and it sucks because I know a lot of Bears fans are going to come out of this game and be like, "Oh man, everybody else beats the shit out of the Ravens. We play them and we look like crap." Well, I think they're going to look a lot better than they have looked. They know they're 1-5. They know if they lose one more game, their playoff hopes are probably. I think Sean, you said today, at 1-5, your playoff chances are like 34%. At 1-6, it's like 3%. I mean,
they have to go 9-2 if you want to be like in the playoffs. That's what they.
Yeah, I mean, and you never know when the refs are going to give a bad call to blow a game or the ball bounces a weird way. I mean, they basically would have to win out, and you never know when one of those games is going to happen. So this team is going to show up to play. But yeah. I agree with Jason, man. I mean, we've seen the Bears stop the run, and obviously that's the key to success for winning Super Bowls, running the ball and stopping the run. And we've done it against guys like Corey Krosky Merritt and Alvin Kamara. But man, Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson are a different breed. I don't even think the Bears necessarily have to shut down the Baltimore Ravens run game. They have to slow it down. You just got to slow it down.
Kind of like they did against Washington.
And the Bears defense needs to continue to be opportunistic, right? You have to continue to get takeaways, and you have to continue to be good on third down because let's face it, guys, the Bears aren't one of the best teams in the NFL on first down in terms of defense. They're not. They give up big yards on first down. I think the average second down to go for the against the Bears defense is like 2nd and 4 or something like that. So teams are getting 6 yards on every first down. The Bears need to be perfect on third down like they've been all season, damn near perfect, and they need to be really good at taking the ball away. And I think that gives them a really good chance to win. But I'll tell you what, guys, if this team comes out and beats the Bears, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, like I said, this is a good football team. They're much better than the record says at 1-5. Lamar Jackson is obviously a very good player because when he's on the field, this looks like a completely different team than it looks like in week past. And if they're in desperation mode, so if this team plays like they're capable of playing, it wouldn't surprise me if beat the Chicago Bears, but I'd like to at least see the Chicago Bears put up a damn good fight.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, Kyle. That's a really good point. The Bears are second worst, only to Dallas in yards per game allowed on first down.
Yeah,
like 184. It's not good. No.
That's not good.
Yeah, and for me, it's. I want to see a cleaner game. You know, we had 10 penalties against the Saints last weekend. And when I mean cleaner, better on third down. We were 3 for 12 against the Saints. 1 field goal and 9 red zone trips. We had not enough touchdowns, 33.3% scoring efficiency rating in the red zone. I want to see that number jump way, way up. And this is a team that you can definitely be had. The Ravens defense overall ranks 31st in rush EPA and 27th in rush success rate, and they're 28th or worse in almost every statistical category on the defensive side of the ball. Still a shock to me because there's so much talent on that side of the ball. And I've said this many, many of times in the past. And since we're playing the Ravens, I'm going to bring this up right now. When it comes to the Ravens and you look the collapse when you go to week 1 against Buffalo, this team has not been good at closing out games. They also haven't been good in the postseason. You know, their success rate in the postseason, we've always talked about Lamar Jackson, how he's flawless in the regular season, and he gets to the postseason, and he just can't get it done. I just start to wonder, is this more coaching than it is the players? Because we've talked about how complete this roster is, but it continues to fail. So when does it start to say Harbaugh being there? I think he's been there 18 or 19 years now.
We had 2 losing seasons, though, you know?
Yeah, like, yes, but still your success with these teams and what he's had, they should maybe have won another Super Bowl or at least got to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Sean, that season, I think it was 2022 or 20, when they had the number 1 defense in the NFL. They should have won the Super Bowl.
Yes.
That's not acceptable. I mean, they had one of the best, the top 5 offense in the NFL and the number 1 defense in the NFL. That is a year you have to win the Super Bowl. Now, Sean, I don't know if I'd necessarily fire John Harbaugh, but their defensive coordinator needs to be fired yesterday. Because if you look at their defense on paper, guys, if you look at all the parts that they put together, I mean, they drafted Malachi Starks to put next to Kyle Hamilton, right? Roquan Smith, he's been an all-pro 3 times. I mean, this team that we've been told that all these players on this team are really good players for the Ravens defense. Then how are they so bad? How are they so bad? I mean, you're talking about they're getting into the conversation of historically bad on defense. Here, just a few of the numbers right in front of you guys. I mean, the Ravens defense yards per game allowed is 380. That puts them at 30th out of 32. Points per game allowed is 32. That's 32nd out of 32. Rushing yards per game allowed is 134. That's 26th out of 32. And passing yard per game allowed, Jason already mentioned it, 246.5. That's 28th out of 32. I mean, they are literally at the bottom of every statistical category you could possibly be. That's why I said the only way I think the Ravens could come out and shut the Bears down is if they just come out with a fire under their ass because they're pissed off and they're sick of losing and they know that they're in desperation mode. They know their back's against the wall and they cannot lose another game. That's the only. But I mean, if this trend continues, these numbers that we just talked about, there's no reason Caleb Williams shouldn't go drop 35 on this team. Absolutely no reason whatsoever at all. And real quick, I'm sorry I didn't get to these. I didn't see the rest of the chat here. Ron has joined the house and Ron says new member. Okay, Okay, Ryan. Oh, sure.
Phil,
Phil is joining
remember.
Phil's in the house as always, and Trey has also joined the show. We appreciate you. And Brew, I wasn't calling you out, man. You don't have to go to bed. You can continue to check comment here. I know that they cut Justin Tucker, didn't they? Who's the
yeah,
They cut Justin Tucker because he's
a rapist.
Apparently a freak.
Yeah, I don't know who the Ravens field goal kicker is.
It's what's his name? Gosh darn it. God, it's a goofy name. Tyler Loop.
Oh, Lupe or that guy. Oh yeah, they're like looking guy.
Tyler Loop. Mr. Loop.
Yeah, Sean, sorry to just get off track. I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd fire John Harbaugh because he is a winning coach and he is this.
He is, but again, when you have all this success, but yet in the biggest moments you're either outcoached or your team fails. When does it start to fall back on the coach?
Yeah, but Sean, last year they're in the Super Bowl if Mark Andrews catches that ball.
Yeah, but Jay, you also got to remember that in that football game, Lamar Jackson matched his season total for turnovers. So Lamar Jackson put the Ravens in that position where he had to make a catch to come back from his mistakes. Because if you look up that game, I think it was his second fumble. It's rated on stats and info for that game as 86.3% of the reason why they lost. I know that's not on coaching, but not being prepared as a unit, I don't know. I understand he seems to do very well coming out of buys. For those who don't know, John Harbaugh is 14-3 coming out of the bye. So that's another thing the Bears they're very well prepared coming out of the bye. It looked like we were prepared somewhat coming out of the bye against Washington. So this is going to be fun. This is going to be fun because this is a barometer, man. This is such a big barometer for the Bears.
Which it can't be a Lions game, guys. It can't be
right.
52-17.
That's kind of what I'm worried.
If that happens, I think there's a chance the Bears could spiral or snowball. The Bears have to come out here and put up a damn good fight. I wouldn't be surprised at all, guys. And Sean, you mentioned that the Ravens have played the Bears only 7 times in the history of these two franchises. And I'm not talking about Baltimore because obviously the Colts were there at one point, but the Ravens and Bears have only played 7 times in their history of the franchise. The Bears are 1-2 in Baltimore, and 2 of those games went to overtime. I would not be surprised at all if this game also went.
That would be fun.
That would not surprise me in any shape or form.
Sean, to speak to your point about coaching, maybe he feels like he is losing the locker room a little bit because he did take away like all of their fun stuff in their locker room. Yeah. Maybe the team is just not concentrating, which is definitely on him. It could be a culture thing. Sometimes you get too many stars in there and they all want money and they all feel like they don't have to work as hard as everybody else. Roquan's a fantastic player, but Roquan's kind of not a great locker room guy. He's more of a me guy, I don't know. I don't really like the guy. I don't think he's a terrible athlete. I think he's a fine athlete. I loved him when he was a Bear, but when, I think he had that issue when he was drafted that he wanted his own contract and negotiated his own deal, and it took forever, and he sat out for a few games. Just little things like that really set teams in the locker rooms just in a bad start, and if that's your leader on defense, and that's the guy that's leading that defense, and he's like that, that's probably one of the reasons why the defense isn't playing very well. You got a guy making $100 million. We were talking about this in the text chain. $100 million deal between Edmonds and Edwards. We're paying $114 million in their 2 contracts. Now, Edwards got a second contract, but it's double the stats for the same amount of money. Dude, it's probably one of the better moves that Poles made. Now, you could probably argue that Poles was kind of forced to because I think he did make an offer to Roquan, and Roquan just refused it. I don't think he wanted to pay him $100 million. But I think what we got as a replacement is definitely better. We've got 2 players for the price of 1. And Edwards is a monster. We've seen the impact that he made on the team coming back. And now Tremaine Edmonds, we seem to leveled him up, and he's now, unlocking all of his special abilities. So I don't want to see Roquan do well, but I'm thinking that maybe, Harbaugh's maybe seeing the end of the tunnel here. Like, hey man, I got to start turning this thing around, or my job could be on the line. I know only 2 losing seasons in 18 years is really, really good, but you got to win. You got to win.
And Sean, I totally understand where you're coming from. I mean, there's no doubt that unless you're a Ravens fan and you're just biased, there's as a football fan with a brain or any common sense, you can't deny the fact that the Ravens are not good under the bright lights. I mean, they have buckled under the pressure at almost every single season for the last 6 years, basically since Lamar Jackson became the franchise quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. I just don't know if it's quantifiable to place blame. Like, how much is the coach? How much is Lamar? How much is the defense?
It's probably all of those things.
I mean, I think if you were going to move on from John Harbaugh, I think the conversation would be had that you'd move on from Lamar Jackson. Remember, the Ravens weren't rushing to the office to re-sign Lamar Jackson when his contract was up. That took a long time, the Ravens to make that decision. Maybe that's something that they were discussing in those contract negotiations, Sean. Maybe they were like, hey, man, do we want to sign this guy? He's a really good regular season quarterback, but he just doesn't seem to have it when it matters most. I don't know. I mean, by all accounts,
they ramp it up, man.
Yeah, I mean, by all accounts, you look at the record, John Harbaugh is a really good coach in the NFL, but at some point, somebody's going to be a scapegoat. If this team continues to make the playoffs and get knocked out in the first or second round, somebody's going to suffer the consequences, and it's got to be somebody of value. It's got to be somebody of consequence. It can't be somebody like, oh, well, let's get rid of our backup linebacker. Like, it's got to be somebody who has an impact on this team. Maybe it's the GM. Maybe it's the coach. Maybe it's Lamar Jackson. I don't know. But if this team doesn't win a Super Bowl in the next 2 years, the Ravens have to start having some serious conversations.
Yeah, and as we talk about this Roquan deal, that the trade, or they traded him away and then replaced him with Edmonds and Edwards, I have to ask you guys: do you guys, from your standpoint, this is where Edwards is right now, or excuse me, Edmonds is right now on the season? 4 pass deflections, 1 sack, 3 interceptions, which does lead all linebackers. He has 61 tackles on the season, which is 8th in the NFL. And we saw the huge pick-me-up that TJ Edwards gave to this team, especially being able to move a former Pro Bowl Pro Bowler, Tremaine Edmonds, in the middle over and put him on the weak side, and then moving TJ into the middle has made a humongous difference. And when you listen to the coach today, he said this was all by design. He goes, we did this in the preseason. We rotated them in training camp. This goes all the way back. One played Mike, one played Will, then we flipped it around. This was all by design. They figured out which tools were the best tools to be at which spot, and it seems to be clicking because the Chicago Bears defense since week 3 is on fire, boys. Total yards allowed, 3rd. Pass yards allowed, 5th. Rush yards allowed, 12th. Points allowed, 8th. In the league, Dennis Allen doesn't have the best tools in the toolbox, but he's making the tools that he has work.
Yeah. And Sean, you said it perfectly, and I'm so glad you said that, because Visual Joe put in the comment here, Flus didn't use him right. And you guys, Sean, Jason, how many times did the 3 of us talk on this podcast about, like, it's not just about the additions they made in the offseason, it's about the fact that you have a competent coach who's going to get the most out of the players that are already here. I mean,
developing players.
There was times where the 3 of us are watching a Bears game together and like, could we please get Tremaine Edmonds out of Chicago? We didn't want him out of here. He couldn't get out of here fast enough. And now you get a competent coach here who, like you said, Sean, he tested out in training camp. He played with a little bit, and he figured out to put these guys in the most opportunistic situations. And all of a sudden, they all start. I mean, that's Pro Bowl numbers. If he does this shit for the rest of the season, he is a Pro Bowl linebacker.
He's going to set career highs in every one of his categories.
And I don't know if you look across the board right now, the Bears have quite a few Pro Bowl. I mean, if Kevin Byard leads the league in interceptions, he's going to be a Pro Bowler as well. These are the same guys that were here, guys. They were here already.
And you know what? Dante Purified mentioned that we drafted Jervon Dexter with the pick that we got from and by the way, Dexter really is our leading sack holder right now.
Yeah, he looks good too. I like Jervon Dexter a lot. I still think he's the best defensive lineman on the Chicago Bears.
Hey, and if you look at Tremaine Edmonds, I mean, right now, 61 tackles in 6 games. I mean, dude, he's on pace for 170 tackles this year, dude. That's insane.
Yeah.
And on the flip side,
30 million less.
And on the flip side, Roquan Smith I know he was been out for a little while, but he did play 4 games, and it's by far the worst season he's ever had. He's got 34 tackles on the season. He doesn't have any explosive plays, so he doesn't have an interception. He doesn't have any sacks. He doesn't have any passes defended. All he's doing is tackling, and he's not really doing that all that well. So, yeah, I mean, in years past, obviously, it looked like the Bears had lost this trade, and the Baltimore won. But man, if you start this season when the Bears have an actual defensive coach in the building, it looks to me like the Bears made the right move. I mean, like Jason said, you're basically paying 2 stud linebackers the same price that Baltimore is paying Roquan, and Roquan's having his worst season ever. And the Ravens, who were projected to win the Super Bowl, are utterly spinning out of control, guys. I mean, like, they're 1-5. Like, imagine being a Ravens fan. You're going into the season going, this is it. This is our year. We finally drafted Malachi Starks. Look at the free agency additions. We have another receiver here in DeAndre Hopkins. And this is the worst the Ravens have looked in 5 years. It's got to be heartbreaking.
Yeah, I know it's a tough schedule for them, and their schedule is actually getting much easier this next 4 or 5 games. So I wouldn't be surprised if Baltimore still makes the playoffs. Somehow they squeak in. They're that good of a team. But man, this is make it or break it. They have to start winning like this week. They have to. Otherwise, now they got to go. They have 9-1 in the last 10 games. It's like that's too hard.
Yeah, and the Bears, you can lose this game if it's a tough fought game, but don't be the get right game for the Ravens, man. Don't be the team that like the Ravens are like, look, we can score 50, we can throw for 300 yards, we can run for 200 yards, we can stop their run, we can stop their, but like don't be that team. If you're gonna lose, at least go in there and put up a hell of a fight and make the Ravens sweat a little bit. Because like I said, I don't think there's any shame in losing Lamar Jackson, the Baltimore Ravens, on the road when they're 1-5 in desperation mode. I don't think it'd be the worst thing in the world for the Bears. Now, obviously, you guys, I want them to win. That's without doubt. I want the Chicago Bears to win that game, but I want to see Caleb Williams take the next step against a terrible, porous secondary, and the Bears continue to look competent.
So James,
continue to keep the game close and continue to instill this winning culture, even if you lose the game. And real quick, guys, James and DJ Prophet have joined the show.
What's up, Prophet? What's up, James? Really quick too for the Bears offense. For the Bears offense, and we all looked at it, and we know that the Houston Texans offensive line is putrid, one of the worst in the league. And last Monday night, this past Monday night, this Texans offense averaged 4.6 yards per play, 3.3 yards per carry with 0 explosive plays. The same Texans offense put up 40 points versus the Ravens, averaged 9 yards per play and 5 yards per carry, and had 3 explosives against the Ravens. And I love to say it because Lamar Jackson, even coming back, doesn't fix the defense. But as Jay pointed out, someone in the chat pointed out, the seriousness in that locker room has been kicked up a notch. So we might see a different Ravens team. And Kyle, as you just said, it does make me a little nervous to say the Ravens could use this as a springboard. If Lamar Jackson's back, Kyle Hamilton's playing out of his mind. Stark steps up. You're getting the other cornerback back that's been missing time. I can't pronounce his name, Zigwe or whatever.
Yeah, and Murphy, and if Roquan has a big day, which he wants that Chicago Bears.
It makes me that thought's in the back of my head. Like, man, could this be a get right game for the Ravens? And if it is, because I don't. Just the way the Bears' offense has worked, if the Ravens' defense is firing on all cylinders, you guys correct me if I'm wrong. If the Ravens' offense is firing on all cylinders and their defense is firing on all cylinders, I don't know that the Bears can keep up with the Ravens. Would that be a fair statement?
Yeah, I mean, Sean,
where the Bears are right now.
Possible, yeah.
I mean, if you look at the two teams on paper, I'd say that Baltimore is still the better team. If you look at the two rosters, I mean, the Bears would have to play a good game, and the Ravens are going to have to play a bad game if Lamar Jackson's playing for the Bears to win this game. But that's possible. And in the years past, guys, when we play games like this, I think as Bears fans, we've been so scarred for so long, we kind of just expect it to fall apart. But I think with Ben Johnson here, it's going to be a little bit different. I think when you expect it to fall apart, we're going to be like, "Holy shit, we're beating the Ravens at the second quarter." I think it's going to be a hard, tough fought game. I just don't know if the Ravens team and coaches will let them lose this game, because if they do, they're pretty much out of the playoffs. And then real quick, I want to get some of these comments. James Christo says he will be at the game in Baltimore. Represent James. You better be wearing a Bears jersey. I want to see pictures.
Hold up a sign. FSCS.
DJ Prophet says Ben has been in his bag the last couple of weeks, dialing up must-have plays when we need it. Love that dude. Yeah, I don't know if there's a Bears fan out there that doesn't like Ben Johnson. He's not a Bears fan. And then
Sean, I don't know if you're gonna play the video or if you had it or whatever, but Kyle shared it in the text chain. The how basically much of a psychopath Ben Johnson is on the sideline, no matter what's going on.
Yeah, very stoic.
But I don't think he realizes he's doing it. I think he's literally watching every single thing about the play. He sees the touchdown. He's like, yeah, that's great, but so-and-so missed their block. So-and-so didn't hit their gap assignment. So-and-so didn't do – that's what he is seeing, and that's why he's not happy, because he sees all the growth that needs to be done. Now, if we continue on with this running game like it is, it should, in theory, open up the passing game. And I think Caleb spoke about it earlier. in his press conference today, somebody asked him, I think it was somebody from the Score, but they asked him, do your interceptions bother you? And he said, no, the missed passes bother me more.
Yes.
So, there's been a couple of times when I've seen him throw the ball low, and I've almost wondered if he did it on purpose, maybe thinking somebody might undercut his route. But there's been a few bad passes, and some of them are in double coverage, and those are the really bad passes that I'm talking about. The balls are going to get dropped, and balls are going to get overthrown every once in a while. But I think if he keeps forcing the ball through double coverage, sooner or later, a defensive coordinator is going to figure out what's going on, and those balls are going to be intercepted. So hopefully this running game gets better. I hope it stays the same, but I hope it opens up that passing game, not just this week, but down the road as well.
Sean, real quick, DJ Prophet, I would bring this up because he was trying to. I think he was looking for you on Monday to ask you this question, but he says, Sean, you still not feeling Monangai?
I'm liking what he's doing, but I'll tell you this right now: if the Bears picked up the phone and said, "Hey, I'll trade Kyle Monangai right now, 5th round pick for Breece Hall," bye, Kyle.
No,
see you, dude.
Well, for sure. I would hope DJ would accept that trade.
I like what he's doing. To me, he's still just a guy. He reminds me, and you guys can again correct me if I'm wrong. He reminds me a lot of a guy like Isaiah Pacheco, another 7th round pick who can get the job done for you. He's playing well, 4.6 yards per carry right now during the season. And a lot of that's picked up, obviously with his big breakout performance here against the Saints, where the run game, he had 15 touches for 94 yards and a touchdown. He's been fantastic. And, this goes to coaching. If Kyle Monangai, again, was on this team last year, I think he's a complete and utter failure. So getting DeAndre Swift going since the bye, 33 carries for 232, 81 receiving yards, 7.3 yards per carry, 3 total touchdowns. I think that's really helped Monangai too. The blocking up front, since they moved Benedette over to the left side, and I know Benedette didn't have his best game against Chase Young, but they obviously are going to continue to have to get him help on that side. But they've ran the ball a lot. As you see here, they're running the ball both ways. It's not, particular to one way or
not
the
inside
other.
zone, outside zone, middle zone. The Bears are just running the ball, and a lot of times they're running the same play over and over and over again, and they can't stop it.
And look at this against the chart. Look at this against the Saints, bro. I mean, this was all up the middle. They took it to the Saints. They buried them in the trenches, and this is what I want to continue to see. And sorry, this is just a DeAndre Swift chart. I didn't pull up Monangai, but look, I'm very happy. I hope he continues to be effective for the Chicago Bears. But again, when you're picking up the phone, and we're going to get into these trade rumors in just a little bit and what the Jets are asking for some of their players, but I would replace him in a heartbeat. If that's fair. I'm happy he's doing very well for the Chicago Bears. I hope he continues to do well. I'm a Bears fan. I've never root for a Bears player to do bad. I didn't like what I saw earlier in the year. He was awful in pass pro. He was averaging 2.5 yards per carry. He was missing the holes. So let's just see it continue. I don't want to get too over my skis against the New Orleans Saints team that was obviously overmatched by the Chicago Bears in the trenches. Let's see if it can continue against the Ravens, if he can keep it up.
You just want to be a good spellback, right? Like, you don't want to see Kyle Monangai should continue to get a handful of carries a game. You don't want to see him carrying the ball 20 times a game. He's not that guy. Like, and DeAndre Swift is your home run hitter. He's the more dangerous player of the two. But just to give DeAndre Swift a breather and get somebody out there who's a little more physical and can kind of beat up that defensive line a little bit, I do see growth from Kyle Monangai. I agree with you, Sean. I don't think he's like special by any means necessary. And if you look at his RAS score and his draft profile, he's not. He's not a special player. But if he could continue to run physically and get those 3rd and 1s and be that guy, that takes a lot of pressure.
He's the whole hard too,
because DeAndre Swift just failed miserably at those. And it's nice to have somebody in the building who you think, and Roquan Johnson as well. Obviously, he got hurt, but Roquan Johnson on his one run, he turned a 5-yard run into an 11-yard gain. He's a physical runner as well. It's just nice to have those guys in the building, so you don't have to expect DeAndre Swift to run between the tackles all game. But Sean, real quick, James Christo says we must score 27 plus points to have a chance in this game. Do you agree?
100%.
Oh yeah. If Lamar Jackson's playing. Yep.
And do you guys
is playing, we could score 14
or Tyler Hunt.
Yeah, and I'd say the biggest concern with Bears fans and Ben Johnson right now in particular when it comes to Caleb Williams, guys, is that completion percentage, right? I think we all agree that 61% is not going to cut it. And you know what? I don't expect them to get to that 70%, that goal they gave themselves at the beginning of the season. But if you fall a little bit short of that, you land at 68, 69. We talked about this on Monday. then that's a good season, right? So do you guys think that if he continues to throw the ball 61% completion rate, that they're capable of beating teams like Baltimore and Cincinnati, these teams with high scoring, potent offenses? Do you think that they're capable of doing that with Caleb's play?
No, and I was actually just thinking about this when you brought up the completion percentage, because you're talking about Theo Benedict and Chase Young coming around the edge. Chase Young wasn't like sacking him. He wasn't getting like a huge amount of pressure. So what was going on is Theo Benedict was letting him go, and then another guy is getting his hands up and batting down balls. So I would really like to see those batted down balls stop. I don't know what Caleb's doing with the lower trajectory, because the first ball that Chase Young blocked down, I don't know where he thought it was going to go. It almost hit him in his shoulder. He didn't really have to reach up to like block it. It was a low pass. So that type of accuracy issue, I think, definitely needs to be cleaned up, because it seems like there's 2 or 3 of those a game, and that might get him back up to 64, 65%. The drop balls are going to happen, things like that. An interception here and there, but he's got to quit throwing into double coverage, and he's got to stop throwing the ball low, because this is now the second or third game I've seen defensive linemen not. Chase Young is a big human being. He's really super tall, but who was it? Washington or somebody? They were just big fat guys.
That's Crosby.
They're just sticking their arms up and blocking the ball. The dude, I know Caleb's not very tall, but he's got 2 eyeballs. He should know how to throw past the defensive line.
And as you're talking about this, I'm probably going to trigger some people with this. I talked to Kyle about it a little bit earlier today, but Roma Dunse's got to be better. He's not the guy, and I understand, like, everyone could look at the first couple of weeks and be like, oh, this guy, he was headed for a breakout season. Go look at his touchdown catches, man. Those are broken coverages that Caleb was able to get the ball because the defender either fell or lost his guy. He came in, he was drafted top 10 by the Chicago Bears with 2 things: great separation and great contested balls. He came in as the number 1 contested catch ball guy out of college, and all he does is drop contested balls. I mean, I'm not making this up. And right now, when you look at the separation rate, and I'm going to be calling number 10's number, because this coaching staff said the best players are going to get out there. Well, when you look at separation rate, and everyone's like, oh, someone has to be open downfield. They have to be open downfield. Well, let's get into this, because when you look at who number 14 in the league is, that's DJ Moore. When you go to Oz, he's sitting at 78. When you go to Roma Dunze, he's sitting at 114th. That's not good. They have to be better. And I think there's one guy sitting on this team that can find the soft spot in the defense, a guy that can get separation, and a guy that can make plays. Number 10 has to get on this field. I am sorry. The Ola Zacchaeus thing was really cute and fun. It should be over. In my mind, it should be over. And it's not hate, DJ. Look, we can talk about all the good things the Bears are doing, but when you have a guy, mainly Roma Dunze, a top 10 pick, and his strengths in college are becoming his weaknesses in the NFL, that's not hate. That's pointing out facts. 114th in separation rate? That's god awful, dude. That is terrible.
For a top 10 pick, yeah.
Yes. Not to mention how many times, Kyle, we watch every game together just about. How many times were like contested catch? He has it in his hands. There was a couple against the Saints. He had it in his hands like this and drops it. He's got to make those plays. Receivers have to help their quarterbacks. I want Roma Dunze to be CeeDee Lamb. I want him to be Jamar Chase. Trust me. I'm not hating on the guy. I'm just pointing out the facts. And these are the facts.
Hey, real quick, Sean.
And he's not getting separation.
Cliff says here that he's wondering if Ben Johnson's scheming the run because he heard Waddle talk about it. The Saints are actually like better than the Bears and the Ravens against the pass. They're not like the worst team by any means against the pass. I do think maybe some of the weather had to do with why they set up a run game. And then, of course, a couple of early fumbled, snaps under center, which that's got to get cleaned up as well. Dahlman, I think he's a good player and he's pretty good in the run blocking. But for some reason, I've never seen a guy not snap the ball. We were talking about this yesterday. Kyle, you said the same thing. I've never seen anybody not snap the ball.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
Like so weird.
And then they didn't call a penalty. And he's standing there with the ball. Like, that's a penalty. That's an elite. That's a false start.
We got away with that.
You can't doubles clutch the ball when you're snapping it. That's a false start. But yeah, I agree with you guys, man. I think it's a little bit of everything. Jason, the trajectory has to change. He needs the batted balls needs to stop. And they're your completion percentage goes from 61 to 63, right? If you stop throwing those low bat balls.
Right.
Sean, you get out of the pocket, you play hero ball, you make this miraculous play, and Rome Odunze drops it down the field. I mean, you're talking about a quarterback learning a new scheme who's struggling a little bit. Your playmakers got to make plays for him, right? They got to bail him out every once in a while. Rome Odunze, if those balls touch your hands, you have to catch those balls. You have to catch it. I mean, so there your completion percentage goes up another 2 points. Now you're 65, 66%. Yeah, I think that it's a collective effort. I'd like to see Caleb get more comfortable in this offense, but the team needs to play better around him. And Sean, like you said, you guys, if this stuff continues and the Bears continue to look kind of mundane and they continue to look almost the same every week and you don't see a ton of improvement, maybe it's time for guys like Luther Burden and Colston Loveland to start playing major roles in this team, because by all accounts, those are two of the best route runners in the NFL draft. So
and
two guys
and
are
coach
pretty
said it, like, the coach said it. We're not playing 60 minutes of football. You know what I mean? We're playing drives of football and not a full game of football. And maybe that's because we're all still learning. You know, one of the stats I was looking up, it was, you know, because Caleb, we all know, is under center a lot more, right? That's really what they want him to be, as a pocket passer. I thought last week was really terrible for him outside of the pocket on the scrambles. He was scrambling remarkably. He probably avoided like 5 sacks. But while on the run, he just wasn't that accurate. I don't know if he's still trying to understand this concept. Last year, he passed the ball from under center 79 times. I'm sorry, 79 times. This year so far, after 6 weeks, I know it's week 7, but 6 games, he's already thrown the ball 79 times from under center. So he's definitely under center vastly more. Now, he needs to get better on his efficiency from there. He's actually pretty good when he's in shotgun, but I know what they're saying is that they could do more with the plays if he's under center. So I'm hoping to God it's just a learning curve for him. And maybe Ben Johnson is right. Yes, we'll be firing on all cylinders in December. As long as we get there, because let's face it, guys, Bears fans need to calm down too. If the Bears somehow do make it to the playoffs, we're not winning the Super Bowl. There's too many good teams. We're not that team just yet. But if we could be firing on all cylinders and somehow squeak into the playoffs, lose a close one to, you know, Detroit or Green Bay or, you know, Philly or whoever else is in there, the Rams, then all right, I'm kind of happy with that. If we don't make the playoffs and we're firing on all cylinders in December, I'm still just as happy.
Yeah, and you know, DJ, I don't hate Rome Odunze. I'm sitting on like 30 of his football cards. I want this guy to be successful. I really do. But you want to point out greatness when he does good things. You should point out the flaws, because everyone's saying, oh, well, Caleb, there's got to be somebody open downfield. There's never anybody open. When then you start looking at separation numbers, there's analytics for a reason. When you don't get separation, you don't come back to the ball to help your quarterback out. I mean, I said this on Sunday, Kyle, but we were watching a game together. I'm like, why does you watch any other team when their quarterback is under pressure, their star receiver comes back to help the quarterback get into a spot where he can find himself, he can find his star receiver and make a play. That's not happening on the Bears. Caleb is running for his life. No one's coming to help him. The receivers are breaking off their route, trying to get open, trying to find themselves. And then when you look at separation rate, you're like, these guys just think getting separation. The defenders are blanketing him. He can't throw, or he's going to throw a pick. I mean, I want Rome Odunze to be great. Right now, he's average. He's average.
And let's remember, he's also young. He's also learning, and he's learning a new system as well, right? Like he's going through the same growth problems that Caleb Williams is. Sean, I'm glad that James put this in the comment here, because I know you wanted to talk about this. He says in the last 2 games, I am seeing Caleb Williams developing bad habits. I'm really concerned about it. Holding the ball and playing hero ball is not a recipe for success in the NFL. Sean, I know you wanted to talk about that today, so fire away, my friend.
Yeah, I heard you guys talk about it a little bit on Monday, and I just started thinking to myself, man, and I don't want everyone to think, because I didn't want Caleb Williams in the first place, that I'm hating on Caleb Williams, because I'm not. I want Caleb Williams to be Joe Montana, John Elway, Tom Brady. I want him to be the greatest of all time now that he's a Chicago Bear. But unfortunately, when you start watching him and start seeing the same things happening, especially when you look at a guy like Drake May. Drake May's in a very similar situation where he has a whole new coach, a whole new staff.
Josh McDaniel's system, for all intents and purposes, is not an easy system to learn either. This guy's over here completing 75% of his passes, leading his team to victory down the field with his legs, with his arm. He's making plays happen. He's moving the pocket. I mean, Drake May's been unbelievable.
And fairly probably with not as much talent around him.
Absolutely not. So, and
I don't know. The Giants are more talented than people. Or I'm sorry, the Patriots are more talented than people.
Yeah, for sure. I agree with you 100%, Jason. But I would still rather have the Bears receiving core than the Patriots. I think they're better than people think. I think Boutte is a legit NFL receiver. I think that Stephon Diggs still has a lot left in the tank, but I'd still rather have the Bears receiver.
You know, Booty or Boutte, whatever his name is. He's pretty good.
He's legit.
They got a couple good tight ends in there. I mean, they have some weapons. I think it's just a really good scheme. I think their running game might be a little bit better than ours too.
But. So what do you guys? So Sean, what do you think these are bad habits he developed last year under a poor coaching staff? Do you think this is just something that he's learned, that he's played his whole life, and he's kind of played hero ball? That's kind of who he is. Like, what do you think the issue is, and how do you think they can fix it?
I'm starting to think that this could be him, but I also think you can harness it into something that could still be great. Because Caleb is obviously in his pressers and he's talking about it religiously. He's got to take the simple throws. We did not see that. And I thought against the Saints, it was a bad regression game for him because he wasn't taking what the defense was giving him. He was running around trying to play hero ball. We saw that a lot last year. We thought a couple of weeks during the season, he was starting to get away from that and start to play more efficiently, even though it's not showing up in the completion percentage. He was still like the pass against Washington on Monday night where he turned, popped, got it to DeAndre Swift on the hash, and he was able to take it to the house, making quick decisions. It just seems like he regressed this week a little bit. And I just hope that's not something, because if he plays the way he played against the Saints this weekend, they're going to get killed.
I'm almost wondering though, the run game we've been saying for weeks, right, was terrible except for the last 2 weeks. Do you think that maybe the coaching staff was just focusing on the run? Because Ben Johnson's offense starts and ends with the run. You got to run. Do you think they just were working too much to get that running game going? Maybe now that it is, we can start focusing on the pass. I don't really know.
I just think it's still a development phase, and I'm not throwing in the towel on Caleb Williams, but I'm saying these are things that we have to start seeing, because let's see, as we get into, let's say, November 28th against Philadelphia, that's 6 games from now. If this is still what he's doing, it's going to start setting my brain up as this is just who he is. Can he be fixed, or these bad habits just instilled in him and he's never going to get rid of them?
He's admitting his faults, though. He's been saying when he's bad. I mean, he's not like trying to avoid the situation. So you hope that his mind is in the right spot.
Well, what Sean just said is $1 million question, right? Like, is this a guy who's going to develop and become one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, maybe even generational, like people said when he was being drafted? Or is this just kind of who Caleb Williams is, and you're going to have to learn to win with his flaws? Now, listen, I'll say this immediately, Sean. I mean, this goes without question. The rate of growth for Caleb Williams determines the Bears' success in 2025. Now, listen, that's not to say that if the Bears don't make the playoffs in 2025 and Caleb Williams continues to get better, that's not a successful season. But if the Bears fans are impatient and they want the Bears to make the playoffs this year, Caleb has to be better than he's been. There's no doubt about that. But we also have to remember that growth isn't always linear, right? Like, it's not going to go week 1, he's this good, week 2, he's this good, week 3, he's this good, week 4, he's this good. Like, it's going to be up and down, but as long as at the end of the season, your trajectory is still going up, right? You just want to see him get better every year.
You want the graph to be linear.
And most experts say NFL quarterbacks need about 35 games before you can actually fairly critique and judge.
And that's fair.
And I'm all about it. But yeah, Sean, I mean, for you, you're just a human being. You're a Bears fan, just like the rest of us. For you to be like, oh man, I'm starting to worry that some of this hero ball stuff is just who Caleb Williams is, and this is always going to be part of his game. That's not unfair to say. I mean, you've never been proven otherwise. How could you possibly just assume that he's going to be Tom Brady in 6 months? That's not right. You can't. Now, I think that Bears fans need to have faith in Ben Johnson, because if there is anybody in the NFL who can start to coach this stuff out of Caleb Williams and can start to make him look more consistent as an NFL franchise quarterback, it's got to be Ben Johnson. And if Ben Johnson can't do it, guys, nobody can.
And again, DJ, I understand it's year 2. I just don't like the habits that he has, and I hate that they continue to rear their ugly head. Doesn't mean he can't be fixed. And I just said a couple minutes ago, this could just be growth, and he's going to continue to learn, and he's going to get better. But I'm just, and again, to the whole Drake May thing, I didn't say the Bears should have drafted Drake May. I would have loved it because the kid, I said before he was drafted, I said this was a baby Josh Allen, and he's not proving me wrong. There was a lot of people down on Drake May when he was drafted, said he was going to be a bust in the NFL. That thought never crossed my mind. He's better quicker than I thought he was going to be. I thought this would be him in maybe another year or two. I mean, he's excelling at the rate I wish Caleb was excelling at. But they're different players. I'm not giving up on Caleb Williams, and I'm hopeful by the end of this season we're going to see more consistency, because when you start looking at adjusted completion percentage, because I'm an analytics guy, I like to look into this stuff, and that's aimed at passes thrown, target completions plus drops in mind. So it's just not. He's second to last. Cam Ward is the only quarterback worse than him at 68.7%. Caleb's sitting at 69.2. You go to
and
the
he's got plenty of time to throw the ball too. It's not like
You go to the top of the list, you're talking about 84%, which is Jared Goff. Drake May is second at 83.6. Dak Prescott is 80.7. This is where you want your successful offense to be. 69%. You're second worst in the league. You have to grow. You have to get better. And that also does have to do with your boy, Rome Odunze, not dropping balls that are placed in his hands. These things have to improve.
There's been a couple of drop balls all across the field with the Bears too.
Sure.
And like Kyle was saying, they're all learning at the same time. So, I think DJ's right. He definitely needs to grow. I'm thinking about baby steps with Caleb. I don't need to see a full linear growth like Kyle is saying, but let's fix one thing every game.
Yeah.
I mean, let's get rid of those batted balls. Let's start there, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, and you know what, guys? I mean, and DJ, I love the passion. I love the fact that you're defending your quarterback.
Yeah.
And let's make it clear right now that none of us are attacking him. I think all three of us on this panel have no problem saying that Caleb Williams is probably already the best Bears quarterback of all time. I mean, his arm talent is unmatched by any other Bears quarterback in the history of the Chicago Bears. And I think that what Sean is saying is he expects Caleb Williams to grow into one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. What he's saying is just right now, the growth isn't happening as fast as he wants. And, that's fair because Bears fans have been patient for a long time now. This team has sucked for 20 years, guys. Like, we want to be good now. And right now, it's just not happening at the rate which we want. But I think with Ben Johnson, enough time and a new system, a new scheme, I think by the end of the year, Caleb will be where we want him to be. Now, maybe
or at least better.
Yeah, and you know what? Maybe that means that because it took him so long to learn the system and get more comfortable under center and under Ben's offense, that the Bears don't make the playoffs. Then so be it. Let's wait one more year. We've already waited this long, right?
Yeah,
but we said this before the season, guys. This year wasn't about wins and losses. The goal of this year was the growth and the development of Caleb Williams. And you guys saw the Bears address in the offseason, right? Like, let's go turn over the inside of this offensive line. Let's go get an offensive minded head coach. Let's add another receiver and Luther Burden. Oh, we'll draft the tight end number 10 overall. We're going to give Caleb Williams zero excuses. Now, a lot of Bears fans are giving him the excuse of a new scheme and a new coach and a new system and new personnel. That's fine. But here's the question. And let me ask you, DJ, solely. What's your timeline? How long before you say, all right, it's been 30 games with Ben Johnson and Caleb is still making the same mistakes? Is it 30 games? Is it 35 games? Is it 4 years? When do you say this isn't growth and development issues? This is Caleb Williams. This is who he is. Now, I certainly think 6 games is too early, right?
That if this is who Caleb is, Ben Johnson will find a way to make it work. That's what I think.
And you know what? The Bears could still win with Caleb throwing for 250 yards and 2 touchdowns a game. And I think he's already proven he's capable of being that guy. He's done it. Done it. Three of the 6 games of the season. I think the Bears can still be a very good team like that because the Bears are starting to become the 2010 Bears where they just run the ball and play defense. That's kind of who they are this year. But the only thing that for me, guys, that's so disheartening about Sunday, and like I said, I'm bought in on Caleb Williams. He obviously needs more than 6 games to learn the scheme.
Yeah, sure.
By all accounts, this is one of the most confusing schemes in all of the NFL. The thing that's so disheartening for me is the Saints are an inferior opponent. And the Saints, I mean, Drake May just threw for like 280 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Saints, I think the week prior or 2 weeks prior. So I expected him to be better. Now, is the end of the world that he wasn't as good as we expect him to be on Sunday against the Saints? No, absolutely not. It's just, I think if Caleb did grow like Drake May was growing, like if you saw the same rate of growth, the Bears are a playoff team. And if he doesn't, they're not.
Yeah. Someone just touched on this, and I forgot to mention this when I said my key points of the game were to clean up the game. In every game this season, the Chicago Bears have had negative yardage differential via penalties. They're the only team in the NFL to have such distinction. So this is something, and again, you have some horrible calls. We've saw some horrible calls.
The Colson Loveland penalty was just absolutely
out, and we're going to hit number 28 right there. And I don't know.
Yeah, if Moose Johnston is paying the Bears a compliment or taking the Bears side, it's not good. It's not good.
And for every reason on the board that this was missed, that first Chris Olave touchdown should have not been a touchdown. When this guy's jumping offside, this was so clear that this dude was off false start. I don't even understand how a flag was not thrown on that play, man. Like, the officials have been so gosh darn atrocious this year. And it's not just the Bears. This is a league-wide problem. Kyle, I know that we've talked about it almost every freaking week. It has to get better. We looked it up last night. These guys make $205,000 to $250,000 a year. They're making $250,000 a freaking year, man. Do your job. Be better. Please clean up the
league-wide, not just against the Bears. League-wide.
And you guys, I think it's fair to say if we expect the officials to be more consistent, there needs to be more consistency from the NFL. Like, you guys, the league, stop adding 7 rules every year. Stop it. Because we went through all the entire 90s with the exception maybe a couple
DJ,
without adding, like, we're changing the kickoff and now you can challenge pass interference, or you guys just stick to the game the way it is. And you have a successful product. You're the biggest sports organization in the United States of America. Stop making these referees learn 10 new rules a year. Yeah, and some of them I'm all for, like the hip drop tackle. I'm all about it, man. Get rid of that play, because that play that hurts people. You see it every single time somebody hip drop tackle, somebody's out a couple weeks. I'm all for that. But the kickoff stuff, do we challenge pass interference? Do we not? Or now offensive players are getting called for unnecessary roughness or putting their head down. Like, guys, it's a violent sport. Let the sport be, let it grow, leave it alone. And the more that they add these rules, the more that they change rules every single year, the more difficult it becomes for officials. And I'm not giving them excuses, because some of them I think are just like blind. Like, there's a couple refs in the NFL who are pretty sure are distant relatives of Helen Keller. I mean, it's not good. It's not good. But especially the ones like Sean, that for instance, that false start you talk about, there is an official who solely watches the line of scrimmage. That's all he does.
How do you miss the 6'8" monster?
How do you miss this?
That's all this official does is watch the line of scrimmage. That's all his job is, solely to watch the line of scrimmage. So how you don't call that is either you have the Saints on the money line, or you are blind. It's one or the other.
That is a fact, Jack. I just missing that call was so gosh darn egregious. Like, I mean, like Jay said, the guy's 6'8", 300 pounds. How do you miss him?
He's the biggest guy on the field. He's the biggest guy on the field. Listen, I don't want to make this show about complaining about the refs, because bad teams always say that the refs lost the game, but it is getting a little ridiculous, guys. I mean, I can name at least 8 penalties this season I called on the Chicago Bears that have just been atrocious. I mean, there's been a couple where I think they throw the flag and they go talk to each other and they're like, I didn't see anything. Did you? Like, no, but we got to say something. All right. Pick by Coastal Loveland, because that guy fell down. Like, it's getting ridiculous. Like, you guys, we don't watch.
We could have let that go, and I don't think anybody would have complained.
Was that against Washington where they called the defense for the penalty, and then that was actually on the Bears, but they never said it?
They never told you what the penalty was. Yeah, it was all of a sudden, first down's negated, and we're now in like first and long. Yeah, that right there. Like, you expect so much from the NFL, from these players and coaches, but the officials are allowed to go out there and be like, we don't know what happened. I think it's on the Bears. First and 14, let's go, guys. Like, that can't happen. Like, if you expect perfection, that needs to be from everybody across the league. You have to the same expectations for everybody, and the officials are not meeting those expectations.
No,
they're not. It's plain and simple. And you guys, I'm not just talking about Bears games. Sean and I watch every game. Sean's got 38 TVs in his garage. We watch every single game on Sunday. It's happening all over the league, all over the league.
It's brutal.
Yeah. And what's bad is it's the middle of a drive. All right, it kind of sucks. But when these plays are resulting in touchdowns or game-winning plays or whatever, that's when it has like a direct, immediate effect on the outcome of a team's future. Like, are they going to make the playoffs? Maybe not now. Maybe they missed it by one game. Maybe, like, these are big time things. And I personally, they have that instant replay on that play right there. They scored a touchdown. They should be able to go back and be like, no, it's not a touchdown. It was a false start.
Well, that's what they did the Lions against the Chiefs. When
Jared
Jared Goff ran
right.
that ball, and that's exactly the New York called and was like, hey, it was a touchdown, but you guys missed a penalty there. And then they called a penalty 5 minutes after the play was over. Like, they did that for the Chiefs. Why can't they do that for the Bears? And you guys, it's getting to the point where it's like, if you listen, you can call a penalty on every play in the NFL. You could
Sure. There's holding on every play.
100%.
And there's pass interference. Yeah, you could call a penalty. So how the officials are getting away with calling 13 penalties on one team and one on another team, you are changing the trajectory of the game. If you're gonna, like, it's like when we talk about baseball, sometimes the umpire misses the strike zone, right? But at least he's consistent. Like, if he says that outside edge is not a strike, then it's usually not a strike all game. Like, it's like we talked about in the Super Bowl between the Chiefs and the Eagles. Like, listen, by definition, was that a holding call on the Eagles that won the Chiefs the Super Bowl? Yeah, probably. But you didn't call that shit all game. So now all of a sudden on the last drive of the game, the Chiefs get a first down. Like, you're ruining the product. Like, we're not here to watch the refs. We're here to watch the best athletes in the world play football. Don't ruin
it. Whether it's intentional or not, the NFL's got to be like, hey, man, we can't let this happen, because when those topics start happening that the refs are calling the game bad, it just diminishes your product. It's not like, good for the product.
It's like you see certain basketball games where the refs call every ticky-tacky foul they can, and then you see basketball games where the refs are like, hey, let's just let them beat the shit out of each other today. Like, who gives a let's just let them play. Like, be one or the other. Don't be one for one team and then the other for another team, because that's not fair. You're now putting, like, the Bears have beat the refs 3 weeks in a row.
Well, yeah,
it's getting old.
And speaking of the basketball, the Chicago Bulls, are in their first game. I believe they're at home versus the Pistons.
Anybody know what the score is, Bruce?
They're up 58-40 with 2:56 to go in the second quarter.
And I believe that's without Kobe White. I'm almost positive
Kobe White is not in the.
Guys, listen, I'm not.
Excuse me if I butcher his name, but what is it? Nikolai Vukovic is having a pretty big game. He's got 15 points, 9 boards, 2 assists in the first half. Giddy's got 12 and 2, and Bruce Ellis has got dropping another 8 in there. But
Chicago boy.
You are correct.
Listen, guys, I'm not a huge NBA team, but for some reason, I'm more excited about this Bulls team than I've been for like 10 years. I don't know why. I think
Bruce Ellis is going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's just the energy. I think they're all young guys. They're all hungry to win. And I think I like Kobe White's game. I like Bruce Ellis a lot. I think he has potential star.
They play fast.
Star potential. Yeah, and they're just fun to watch, man. They're kind of like the Hawks in 2010. Like, they're not, or 2009. Like, they're not good enough to win a championship, but you could see where they're going. You could see the identity.
A winning record too. What is going on?
And maybe the Joker will end up in Chicago, and it'll change the franchise.
That's where he wants.
I don't watch the NBA. You guys know I'm a huge college basketball fan. It's probably my second favorite sport behind football. But I will watch the Bulls if they become good and make it to the playoffs. They'll get my support. But
sure, yeah.
I don't think you'll ever see me sitting down watching a 4-quarter Chicago Bulls game. I can tell you that right now. Maybe if I'm in a bar.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Back to the Bears here. So
back to the Bears. Sorry.
Guys. I think that, and somebody said this in the comments earlier, guys. They said that the Ravens are, with the way that Caleb's been playing, the Ravens are going to stack the box. I said this on Monday. I'll say it again. These next 2 games, 2 high potent offenses, if you talk about Lamar Jackson being healthy, the Bears are going to have to win these games on the shoulder of Caleb Williams, guys. He has to score points. They have to turn field goals into touchdowns. And even if you're talking about 1 field goal a game, like, for instance, the Bears scored 26 on Sunday against the Saints. 30 looks a lot better than 26 in the NFL, right? That's a huge difference between 30 points and 26 points in the NFL. If the Bears can just turn one of these red zone field goal trips into a touchdown, and this team can hover somewhere around from 28 to 29 points a game for the rest of the season, you're talking about a damn good football team, especially if their defense continues to take the ball away at the clips that they've been taking it away. And obviously, guys, now the Bears are first in takeaways as a defense, and they are first in third down efficiency, 2 of the most important stats in the NFL when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. What do you guys think the Bears have to do for your final take on the Baltimore Ravens game to beat the Baltimore Ravens if Lamar Jackson himself.
Score in the red zone, man. We have to, and not a field goal. We need to score touchdowns in the red zone. I think I think we're getting there. I don't know if it's like we don't have the right red zone package. Last year, I thought we were actually pretty good in the red zone, but of course, it was a different offense. So I know we can do it. I think we've got a better offensive line. I think we've got better weapons and a better package set, skill set of players there. But we got these two giant tight ends that should be catching the ball in the end zone. I don't know why we're not throwing the ball in the end zone. Our to go back to our Rome Odunze, he's a big guy. He's tall. He's not little. He should be catching the ball in the end zone as well. I know it's hard for DJ, but it seems like DJ's the only one catching the ball in the end zone. He's like one of the shortest guys on the team. I don't know what it is, and I know we don't have like a big tush push play like Philadelphia or whatever, but we're in the red zone. We're driving the ball down the field. We're getting there despite all the penalties and all the mistakes and all the bullshit that happens. We just can't seem to punch it home in there. I mean, it seems like the first 2 or 3 drives, or at least 2 or 3 drives every game, we're kicking those field goals. I mean, I know it's pie in the sky to say if we were to score a touchdown on every one of those, we're winning games. Every team could say that, but you're right. Just one more time in the end zone, in the red zone, if we just score the touchdowns, we're going to not be winning these games by 1 point. We're going to be winning these games by 8 to 10 points. That's what we're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, and Jason, do you think it's fair to say that the difference between last year and this year is Keenan Allen's a damn good security blanket? He's damn good on third down, and
Yes.
He's damn good in the red zone. And
Look
I don't
what
think
he's doing in LA right now.
Yeah, and I don't think anybody on this Bears team has set themselves apart as that third down end zone. Caleb, when you're in trouble, look my way. I got you. I think the Bears need somebody to step up and be that. And
DJ Moore.
you guys, maybe it's
one of the tight ends. I mean,
maybe it's Colston Loveland or Luther Burden.
Yeah, or anybody. I don't care who it is. I'll be perfectly honest with you. It doesn't bother me who it is. It's just got to be somebody. Because right now I feel like we're tricking plays and using, fancy stuff to get in there and do. It's not what we need. We need literally confidence that when we're in the red zone, and I'm going to even just say when we're 10 yards out, we should be scoring a touchdown. We need to be scoring that touchdown.
Sean, do you think that, because let's face it, guys, the Commanders and Saints, they're a competitive team. I mean, the Saints, obviously, the record's terrible, but people are like, well, they're scrappy. And, the Commanders were in the NFC Championship game last year, and they can score points pretty quickly. But I think Ben Johnson was like, if I kick enough field goals in this game, I think we're going to outscore these teams. Sean, do you expect Ben Johnson to go for a lot more fourth downs in this game instead of kick field goals? Because he knows touchdowns.
He wants those scores.
I guess that would, for me, depend on how the offense is working. If the offense is, kind of moving, but it's getting there, but it's not flowing. I think if the offense is flowing, then yes, it's kind of going to have to be, for me, an in-game decision. I would like them to, because I want to see a little bit more creativity on these, some more real routes, some more little end arounds, getting these people in space, getting Luther Burden involved. But going forward on fourth down, I guess it really it's going to depend on me where and when.
And Sean, Cliff agrees with you. He says situational. I agree.
Yeah. I just. If it looks like it did against Dallas, go for it on every fourth down.
Yeah. I was just about to say, if it looks like it did against New Orleans, then you can just tell that there's no timing and there's no flow, and that you don't have that identity.
Then I guess kick the field goal,
kick the field goals. But yeah, I think if you're right, Jason, if the Bears kick 4 field goals in the red zone and score 1 touchdown like they did against Washington, they're not going to win this game.
Well, and I'll be honest, for the Bears to win this game, especially if Lamar Jackson is going to play in this football game, which I know the reports are all around. Dan Graziano says he doubts it. Mike Florio said he doubts it, but there are some people that say it's truly up in the air. But if Lamar Jackson does play in this game, the Bears have to win in the trenches. They have to run the ball, and they have to eat the clock. The way you beat these superstars is don't give them a chance to beat you. So run the clock, run the ball, kill the clock, keep him off the field, limit his opportunities to hurt you. That would be my mentality. If Roquan is good enough, run Roquan, DeAndre, and Kyle 45 times in this football game and keep Lamar Jackson off the field. That's
And
all
Sean,
I can say.
you're right, because these turnovers are not sustainable. It's nice, but when we're kicking field goals, we're winning these games because the defense is turning the ball and giving us back the ball after we just scored 3 instead of 7. It's not going to be sustainable the whole year long. We have to score those touchdowns. And I think
Lamar's very good at taking care of the ball. In the regular season.
The ball over the
in the regular season, yeah. If the playoffs, he's fumbling and dropping, and But you're right, Sean. We have to keep him. That's the best player on their team. You keep him off the field, you have a much better chance of winning the game.
Yeah.
I agree with both you guys, man. I mean, the physicality from last week in New Orleans, I mean, it felt like the Bears defense was in their face every single play. That needs to continue for the rest of the season.
The corner blitzes and DB blitzes were insane. Safety blitzes, great.
I like what Dustin said on Monday. He said the Bears do have problems with speedy receivers, and obviously Chris Olave is one of those guys. So you need to limit, say, Flowers' success. You need to mask this defense's deficiencies, and the only way you can do that is by blitzing, making sure Lamar Jackson's uncomfortable, and getting them off the field on third down, guys. You have to get them off the field on third down. I think that's the only way the Bears win this game. If their defense gives up these long, methodical drives like they did against Minnesota in the fourth quarter, they did against Jared Goff in Detroit, they're not going to win this game. And Caleb Williams is probably going to have to be somewhere around 65% completion percentage or better for them to win this game, because let's face it, guys, the lower the completion percentage is, that's what's leading to the field goals. I mean, if he's completing more passes, you're scoring more touchdowns. That's just football. That's the game it is. So, Sean, is there anything you want to talk about before we get to our score predictions?
Yeah, I mean, in the key is going to be, like Jason just said, or I think it was you, as one of you two just said, bringing these crazy blitzes off the edge, because Lamar Jackson has been sacked 15 times this year. So in limited action. So
basically 3.5 games. This guy's been sacked 15 times.
Gets to him and cause havoc. And I mean, Kyle,
hit that hamstring. Hit that hamstring.
Didn't we look at each other on Sunday and be like, man, dude, the Bears defense is flying around. They have to come out with that intensity, and they have to have the want, because listening to that interview, I mean, what I wrote for Kyle Hamilton was verbatim out of his interview today. These guys know this is desperate. They're going to come and they're going to play like a desperate football team on Sunday, and the Bears have to match that intensity. I think they can if they come out and play the way they did in the first half against the Ravens, or against the Saints, excuse me. No, I just think it's, man, I am so, Kyle, you said this at the beginning, but man, I am so stoked for this game, and I really do want Lamar Jackson to play. I want Roquan to play. I want all that smoke, man. I want it all. I want to see exactly where this Bears team is. Bring it all to us, and let's fucking go.
Yeah, real quick, James says, what do you mean keep Lamar Jackson off the field? If we score a touchdown on a field goal, Lamar will have to take the field by default regardless. Yeah, no, but what we're saying, James, is just long, methodical drives, right? To run the clock out, right? You don't score. I mean, obviously, if you can score in 2 seconds, you want to. But if you're continuing to try to throw downfield and it's not working, and you're 3 and out and putting Lamar back on the field, he's going to beat you. If the long downfield throws, the explosive plays aren't working, then go get your 4 yards on a run, and then a 6-yard screen pass, and then another 5-yard run, and then methodically and slowly move down the field, eat up 9 minutes per drive, and keep Lamar Jackson cool on the sideline. But if you go 3 and out, Lamar comes out and scores a touchdown. You go 3 and out again, Lamar comes out and scores a touchdown. This game's going to get ugly really, really fast. At least drive down the field and limit the time in which he has to score touchdowns. So if you take up 9 minutes of the clock and you kick a field goal, and then Lamar only has 5 minutes left in that quarter to go score. I mean, if you continue to do that, then you're limiting the drives of the opposing offense, right? You only want to see the Baltimore Ravens get 6, 7, 8 drives. You don't want them to have one of these games where you go 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, and these guys have 12, 13, 14 chances to score touchdowns, because they're going to beat you. I mean, eventually Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry are going to score. They're going to score. Like, the Bears defense isn't good. They're not that good. No. They're not going to stop Lamar Jackson from scoring.
And to the point you just said, Kyle, that would be the other half, is keeping Derrick Henry off the field too, and not giving that night train time to get his engines rolling.
Well, and the more runs he takes, the more that defensive line is going to get tired out and beat up. And I mean, this guy's 250 pounds. Derrick Henry is. He's
such a hot.
It's Mike Allstott. It's a black Mike Allstott. He can wear the defensive line out.
He's bigger and faster, dude, than Mike Allstott. That's what's scary.
I'm scared of. I'm not going to lie. Right now, I'm more scared of Derrick Henry than I am Lamar Jackson, because I don't want to say the Bears' run defense has been a facade over the past couple of weeks. They've improved, but there's levels to this, guys, and Derrick Henry's on just a different level. Like, he's such on a different level. It does scare me. I'm going to remain cautiously optimistic that the Bears will be able to at least slow him down. But man, that guy scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, and once again, guys, they're in desperation mode, so they're going to come out and they're going to try to play a flawless game. And if they get close to it, if they play them damn near perfectly, the Ravens are tough to beat. And you're in their house. The Bears have to be just as flawless. Like, you can't have these fumbled snaps where Caleb Williams is laying on his butt on 3rd and 6 and taking a sack. You can't have penalties that shoot yourself in the foot. You can't have bad passes turn into turnovers. Like, the Bears have to be just as flawless as the Ravens if they stand any chance in this game. And listen, James Crystal says you guys give Lamar Jackson more credit than he deserves. Like, and nobody gives Lamar Jackson a tougher time than Sean Lugo, my friends.
No.
Like, there's not a person on the planet who takes away more credit from Lamar Jackson than Sean Lugo. But listen, whether we like it, I mean, you guys, you see when Lamar Jackson was in there, they're scoring 40 points, right? And then the backup quarterbacks comes in, Cooper Rush, and they're scoring 3. Like, it's obvious.
You want to play Lamar Jackson in the playoffs, not in the regular season.
Let's be honest, James. When we say we're giving Lamar Jackson too much credit, in his games played this year for the Ravens, they are averaging almost 33 points a game. He has 131 points in 3.5 games being under center. That's not giving him too much credit. That dude is dangerous. He's dangerous.
Got a very clear set of skills.
What's that?
He won 2 MVPs and almost won a third.
Yeah, he does. He does.
The NFL has been trying to perfect this running quarterback for a long time. None of them have won Super Bowls. Cam Newton couldn't do it. Michael Vick couldn't do it. All these guys you see, the only guy who could do it was Steve Young. Listen, I think the next guy who's the running, passing quarterback, the guy who's a dual threat, it's tough to keep him contained because you never know what he's going to do. I think the next one to win a Super Bowl is probably going to be Lamar Jackson. This guy's legit, you guys. He's legit. He's won 2 MVPs, and there's a chance he could have won 3 in a row. This guy is legit. He's going to be. It's tough to stop him. And like I said, any team in desperation mode, any team in the NFL, the Browns are desperation.
I'll take Josh Allen first over Lamar Jackson.
Oh, 100%. Not even a question. That's not part of this conversation. I mean, he does what Lamar Jackson does. He just does it better.
Yeah. And you know, you guys want to get into predictions, or you want to talk about the trades, then go to predictions?
I don't consider Caleb a running quarterback.
No,
he's got it in his back pocket. He's capable of doing it, but he doesn't like doing it. Lamar likes running. Like, they design runs for Lamar Jackson. Like, you don't see the Bears designing them.
I'm telling you, James. Dan Graziano reported today that Lamar Jackson was unlikely to play. Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk came out and said he was unlikely to play. The guy from the Baltimore Sun or whatever came out and said it's highly unlikely that he's going to play. But then there's reports saying that he's going to play. So, I mean, here, I watch Mike Florio a lot. I love Pro Football Talk. I respect him. He's not wrong a lot.
Well, plus, Sean, you definitely want to listen to the national sports guys over the local sports guys, because the local guys are speaking out of hope. They're like, God, Lamar's coming back, because they hope Lamar's coming back. Mike Florio don't give a shit because he's not a Ravens fan. He just reports the news. Sean, real quick, Click Victoria says, I don't want anyone to get hurt, but hamstrings are dangerous. Injuries to come back from too soon. Ravens are desperate. So, hey, listen, man.
Yeah.
I don't like to see people get hurt either, but if he aggravates that hammy, I'm not going to like cry myself to sleep over it. I can tell you that shit.
Nope.
Yeah, but Cliff, here's another thing that Sean did some deep dive into today's practice for the Ravens. You guys, we should have talked about this earlier, Sean.
There's two things, Kyle.
Lamar Jackson did not practice with the first string offense. He practiced with the third string offense, and that's strange.
Here, and you want to know what else? And I didn't think about this, but your starting quarterback has interviews on Wednesday and Thursday.
Did not do them.
Lamar Jackson had no press today, which could be another sign that he is not starting this Sunday. So
I like what James says here. He says if you check your tickets for the game, you will see that they are cheaper, which is clear indicator that Lamar Jackson. Yeah, you guys, if we wake up tomorrow and FanDuel and DraftKings have changed the spread to like 1.5 instead of 6.5,
yeah, we'll know.
Lamar Jackson's not playing this game.
Yeah.
It's not even a question.
I think if they knew Lamar Jackson was playing 100%, I think the Bears might be 8 or 9 point underdogs. I'm not trying to be a dick to the Bears, but
and if Lamar is out, I think the Bears are a 2 point favorite.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I don't think Cooper Rush or Huntley or Tyler Huntley is going to be able to beat this Bears team, especially.
A lot of the time, Sean, I say no disrespect, but disrespect. Cooper Rush and Tyler Huntley suck.
They suck.
They're both terrible. You saw, like, I thought when they came in, when Lamar got hurt, I'm like, yeah, but it's the Ravens. Look at their off. I mean, they have Derrick Henry. They're still going to put up points. If you can't put up points in that offense, you shouldn't be playing in the NFL. You should not be playing in the NFL. I'm sorry, but listen, there can't be that big of a difference between your starting quarterback and your backup quarterback. How can you go from 40 points a game to 3?
With that roster, I agree. Right.
It's not acceptable.
Yeah, and just so we're all clear too, when back in 2021, when Huntley did play against the Bears, he was 26 of 36 for 219. He averaged 6.1 yards per pass. He had an interception. He had quarterback rating of 76. He was sacked 6 times in that game for a total of 43 yards lost.
66 times.
Yeah, and somehow they still won that game.
Sean, what year was that?
2021.
Oh yeah, that Bears defense sucked.
Yeah, and Tyler Huntley actually had 7 rushes for 40 yards. He averaged just under 6 yards a carry. Their lead back that day was Devonta Freeman. He had 16 for 49 and a touchdown. Montgomery was ours, but the Bears were not very successful. Andy Dalton and Justin Fields combined for 280 yards and 2 touchdowns, but it wasn't enough as they fell.
Yeah, they beat the Bears by 3 points. Tyler Huntley beat the Bears by 3 points, and that defense was terrible.
The Bears,
absolutely terrible.
That was the middle of the rebuild, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was one of the worst seasons, one of the worst rosters I've ever seen on paper for the. I mean, I think our receivers were like N'Keal Harry and Byron Pringle.
Here,
I don't remember the last.
I'll be perfectly honest.
I'll
be perfectly honest. If you're a bettor, I would throw $100 on the Bears money line right now.
Yeah, before the news comes out on the
Lamar. Yeah, because it's gonna flip. You're getting a free bet right now at plus 235. I can tell you that.
Well, Sean, and if you take the over, which is going to be tough if Lamar doesn't play, but if you took the over and the Bears to win right now, it's plus 650.
Oh my God,
plus 650.
I mean, could it? I mean, the Ravens,
it was last night. I don't know what it is now, but last night I looked at it. It was plus 650 to go over 50 and a half, and for the Bears to win the game.
I think it was since Lamar's been out that the Ravens have only scored 30 points total. So the over would make me very scared. You know, I'm going to get.
Didn't they score 3 points against the Rams?
Yeah,
I think they scored 3 points against the Rams without Lamar. I mean, you guys, without Lamar, it's a completely different team. It's a completely. That's why we're giving respect to Lamar Jackson, because they go from a 3 points against the Rams to, if Lamar played in that game probably ended 41-40. I mean, it's crazy the difference that can make. All right, Sean, let's get some of these trades.
Well, today came out from one Jeremy Fowler on ESPN that the Bears were kicking the tires on one Jermaine Johnson, defensive end out of Florida State. He is okay. He got hurt last year. He only had his grades last year was a 41.7 overall, 62 in the run or in the pass, and 42 in the run. And then you flip the script this year, he's a 60 against the pass, 70 against the run. He's actually having a decent season. His PFF grade is 68.4 overall. He has 10 tackles off the edge. He only has 1 sack, though.
I think last year he had an Achilles injury.
Yeah, he did a lot of time too. I was going to say, I'm over it. Sean and I talked about this on the phone.
I'm good.
Well, he's the same guy we already have on the line.
Exactly.
That's what Sean and I said. Sean was like, "You're talking about trade for this guy." I'm like, "You guys, you signed Deo here because of the potential of getting 10 sacks. You saw potential, right? Like, this guy's going to get better. He's going to be a 10 sack guy. Then sign a guy who's had 10 fucking sacks."
Yeah, exactly.
Stop doing this. Stop paying guys on their potential. They were like, "Oh, Josh Sweat costs too much." Well, if the same money you gave to Deo and Jarrett and Greedy Jarrett, you could have paid Josh Sweat, and he gets 10 sacks. He's got like 7 right now.
Yeah,
you could have paid a guy like that. Ryan, stop trading away future draft capital for these middle of the road type players. Knock it off. The Bears should finish the season out with what they have on the roster and address the holes in the offseason. That was the Bears' plan. Should be. That's what it should have been from day one.
And I'll tell you this: I am 100% with the chat. Let's see what Austin Booker does
Oh,
before
yeah.
we go
Yeah.
and even
Yeah.
think about a Jermaine Johnson.
What kind of confidence would you be instilling in Austin Booker? You're like, you know what?
Right.
Before you play your first snap of the Bears, we're going to add 4 pass rushers via the trade. Like, dude,
Yeah.
listen, unless you're trading for Max Crosby and his 3 years left on his contract, I want nothing to do with any of these guys. And Sean, there was another guy mentioned too, Sean. There was another guy mentioned too. I forgot his name. I can look it up.
For the Bears?
Who did you say was?
No, the Bears wanted, I think, trade Braxton Jones, which is great, but
No, there's another trade. It was 2 guys. It was Jermaine
I
Johnson.
only saw Jermaine Johnson.
No, it's a guy. His last name starts with E and E. Where the fuck?
a
I
linebacker.
will tell you this. The trade values that have come out is Quinlan Williams, who I would definitely be interested in, is a 2nd-round pick. Jermaine Johnson, a 3rd-round pick. Will McDonald, a 3rd-round pick, could be a 2nd. And the one that really
Sean,
moves my meter.
Sean, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Real quick, I'm looking at an article right now. Jeremy Fowler reported the Bears are also interested in Falcons edge rusher Arnold Ebiketie. That's another thing. Like, why is every time a Bears trade rumor comes up, is it somebody nobody's ever heard of?
Oh, Bruce just put it in there. Yeah, I've never heard of that guy. Never heard of that guy.
Yeah, and by all accounts, since the Falcons drafted him, and I think he was like a 2nd-round pick, he's been terrible.
Yeah.
Stop doing this shit.
Yeah.
Knock it off.
I was just going to say the guy that moves the needle for me is the 5th-round pick for Breece Hall. I'd be perfectly honest with you. I would probably have already picked up the phone and been like, you want a 5th for Breece Hall?
Yeah, and Sean,
Here
Breece
you
Hall's
go.
real.
Here's a
realistic.
6-2.
And he's realistic because the Bears right now, going into next season, they're about $2 million over or under the salary cap. And Breece Hall's on a rookie contract. So you can figure out, you can make his new, if you extend him, you could pay him when you want. You could pay him in 2 years. Just pay him a signing bonus. So you're not going to make anything outside of your signing bonus this year in your guarantees. And we'll push all your money into the future. These guys, what you're talking about, like Max Crosby, the Bears don't have any money for these guys. There's no way they can sign these guys. It's not possible. So just go draft a stud defensive end and stop messing with these middle of the road or back end of the road type guys. I'm done. I don't want to hear any more rumors about the Bears trying to sign Joe Schmo that nobody's ever heard of from the Falcons. Like, knock it off.
Now in these trades here, Quinton Williams, the defensive tackle, is the guy that I would be most interested in. 81 overall grade, 91.2 run defensive grade. He's actually ranked number 1 in run defense. Unfortunately, his pass rush grade is 55.4, but this is what you call a rotational piece. You can bring him in on run drives and really sew up that run defense.
Laz,
they are looking for a 2nd-round pick for him, though.
I'm with you, Laz. I wouldn't mind Sauce Gardner and the Bears out.
Oh, yeah. We don't
are any of these teams looking for a tackle? I mean, there's really no need for Braxton Jones to be on the roster anymore.
I don't know, but I know that the Jets are. I mean, their Jets are saying fire sale. By all accounts, from what I hear, they're talking about Garrett Wilson. They're talking about Breece Hall. They're talking about Jermaine Johnson. They're talking if Sauce Gardner's involved in that conversation. I like Tyreek Stevenson a lot, but I'd much rather have Jalen Johnson, Sauce Gardner, and Kyler Gordon. And
definite upgrade.
You can send Tyreek back their way.
I will tell you. Let me see if I can find this really quick. That Jets kid just this weekend. That just reminded me of so many times that I've went to Bears games and we're like, God damn it, that kid just summed it up so well. I love that kid, and I feel so bad for him. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, I'm trying to find it right now. It was like this 15, 16-year-old kid coming out of the stadium, and they asked him, what do you think about the Jets? And he was like, look, man, I hate this team.
I hate this team.
He goes, I was born into this as a Jets fan, so I'll always root for the Jets, but I hate this team. And he just puts his head down and walks away. It was just classic, dude. I really loved this. I feel bad for that kid. I cannot find it. I thought I saved it.
Well, and you guys, Jermaine Johnson, whatever his name is, he's coming off an injury too. He's not only injured his entire career, but he's recently coming off. Why that would even be an option for the Bears? Like, Bears, how many times
he's really cheap? I think the cap hit for the Bears would only be like 1.5 or 1.7 million.
100% what they're doing. But I agree with the chat here. I agree with all you guys. Let's see what Austin Booker's made of before we start bringing in outside talent here, right? All right, guys, let's give our score predictions.
Pick 6.
I was born into this.
Oh. Did you find it, Sean?
You got it?
I did, but it's not letting me download it.
Forget about it.
Hold on.
I hate this team. I was born into this, and I'm not gonna ever. I'm always a Jets fan, but like, I hate this team.
So, you guys know that I said numerous times the offseason when Sean was talking about Justin Fields and fantasy and all that, and I kept saying the Jets are not going to be good, even if Justin Fields is good. They're just a terrible organization. They're just
Owners,
Yeah.
and then the owners blaming on the quarterbacks. Like, well, dude, how about you put some talent on the roster? And then
Hey,
maybe
Romy, which Johnson is not good?
he's talking about Jermaine, the guy from the Jets.
Oh,
I agree with you, Romy. I looked at the
He's
stat.
mad. He's
Not
mid.
impressed.
That's
A
what
lot to
kids
be
would say.
a lot left to be desired there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
DJ Prophet
100%.
says, I felt that way before. What do you think about the Bears? I hate this team.
If you're a Chicago sports fan, you have a 100% felt that way before many times.
Yeah.
I'm never
Right.
going to root against them, man.
All right,
but
Sean, we got to go because these guys are putting their scores in already. James Christos
All
got
right, we got
27,
James. Hold on, I'm going to write these down here. Hold on, James.
27, 25 Bears.
27-25 Bears.
Romy, 28-24 Ravens.
Hey, Romy, I got a question for you. Is that with or without Lamar Jackson, my friend?
That's a good point.
Mini Ditka or full size Ditka?
Shh, breaking news, Bruce, 28-25 Bears.
Hold on, let me get these.
I don't think Bruce will ever pick against any Chicago. We could be talking about the White Sox, and Bruce is going win all day. All day, every
Romy
day.
says with.
with Lamar. Okay.
With Lamar.
I actually think that's going to be a high scoring affair.
Nice, Bruce.
I'm thinking 36-28 Bears.
I'm going to do my score up. DJ Prophet's here, Sean. He's got 42-17 Bears. I'm assuming DJ is projecting this game without Lamar Jackson, probably.
I hope so.
Well, he's saying we finally put a full game together. So
No, Bears by 1. The Bears by the same. Isn't that the same score they won the other two games by? It was
It's a pretty good bet if they keep doing it. I mean,
yeah, DJ's saying no Lamar. Vizzo Joe said 25-24 Bears.
Fizzo 25.
You guys, I'm going to pick this game with the assumption that Lamar Jackson is not playing because, like I said, I trust the national media guys more than I trust the local guys because the local guys a lot of times will speak out of like will or hope or want. But I'm going to assume that Lamar is not playing in this game, and I'm going to go Bears 38, Ravens 9.
damn.
Hold on, what was that, Kyle?
I'm going to go Bears 38, Ravens 9 if Lamar Jackson's not playing in this game.
Bears 30.
You guys, this is by far the worst defense the Bears have played all season. It's not a
Okay. Well, I don't know, man. Let's see.
Dallas.
The Dallas defense sucks.
Dallas looked better against Washington. It looks like Matt Eberflus is finally starting to figure something out over there. I mean, it's not a lot,
He
but they're
got
getting
lucky.
better. Shauna, Romy said no Lamar, Bears 26, Ravens 16.
26-16 with.
If Lamar plays, I got the Ravens 31, Bears 27.
I'm not even picking it the Lamar place. I don't know.
You're picking the Ravens, though, right? Probably.
Yeah.
Did you pick your score, Jay?
Yes, I did. 30. I said 30. What did I say? 38 or 36? 36 to 28, I believe I said.
Swaggy McNoleg says
You take the Ravens?
No, I'm taking the Bears.
Swaggy McNoleg says the Ravens are a bad defense. Like I'm assuming he's being facetious because like I just went over it. The Ravens yards per game allowed 30th, points per game allowed 32nd, rushing
250 passing yards a
rushing
game.
yards allowed per game 26, passing yards per game 28th. Yeah, I mean they're literally bottom 8 in every statistical defensive category. They are absolutely atrocious. Sean, what do you got, man?
Yeah, man.
Sean, I think we all picked with the assumption Lamar's not playing, so you should just continue that trend.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that the Bears they're playing with a ton of confidence right now. I do believe that the Ravens are coming off the bye, which they are 14-3 under Mr. John Harbaugh, so they do come out prepared. Jackson's replacements of Cooper Rush and Tyler Huntley don't really scare me all that much.
Guys,
I expect a lot of turnovers if they were to play
this team with those two is bad, not good.
Yeah.
That might be the only way they sustain their high turnover ratio.
And the King has had some fumbling issues, and I think that those could continue if Lamar Jackson is not in this game. If Lamar Jackson is in this game, I have I'm writing this down.
No, Sean, I'm going to change my. Sorry, real quick. 38-13. I'm going to give him 13 because you brought up Derrick Henry, King Henry. I can't forget about that guy. Swaggy McNoleg says Bulls up 19, guys.
Laz has got Ravens 24. The Ben Johnsons 27.
The Ben Johnsons. I love it, Laz. It's awesome.
Laz has what?
That's
27?
gonna be what the stadium's called in Arlington Heights, the Ben Johnson Dome.
If Lamar plays, I have it 38-28 Baltimore. If he doesn't play, I'm going to say 31 to Kyle kind of took the 13, but
Go 12.
I'm going to go 31-13 without. We'll just have to have the same.
All right, Sean, what's the next game? Let's do this, boys.
You know what? Let me pull up these games for the pick six. Anyone want to jump in the pick six? Just let me know. And let's see what we got. What's our division doing? We know Detroit's on a bye. Let's go to Sunday Night Football. We got the Steelers. We got that team from up north that can kiss my ass. And it's a revenge game for
Aaron Rodgers game.
in Steel City. Or do the Packers come away with a victory?
I'm Pittsburgh all day.
Taking Pittsburgh.
Where are they playing?
They're playing in Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pittsburgh all day.
I can't believe I'm doing this because Green Bay's a better team, but I'm going to go Pitt.
I'm going Pitt too.
I'm going Pitt.
Bruce?
I just wish the Steelers had like one more.
Steelers.
I wish the Steelers had one more receiver.
Yeah.
Me too, man. And I really could use DK to go off against some particular
If they
guy.
still had Pickens.
Liz is taking the Steelers.
Who is?
Liz is taking the Steelers.
Liz?
DJ's taking the pack.
DJ's taking the Packers. DJ, you're dead to me. Over.
I mean, he's the only one betting with his brain right now.
I'm just messing with you, DJ.
Yeah.
The Packers are a better team, and they're probably going to win that game. I just can't.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Anyone else wants to jump in?
Yeah.
Just fire away. We have the 5-2 Niners.
Come on, Joe's taking the Steelers.
Joe Vizzo.
Joe Vizzo.
Joe, we got
Get Joe Vizzo, I said.
Steelers. We have the 5-2 Niners, the injury-riddled Niners, who just figure out ways to keep winning football again.
Hand the ball off to their running back. That's how they're winning games.
Texans.
Oh, the Niners, bro.
Niners.
That Texans team doesn't belong on a football field, bro.
CNC on fire.
That offense
It's going to be the game that they fucking win.
Yeah, well, Nico Collins is not playing in that game. He got a concussion on Monday night. He ain't playing.
Yeah, he's not playing in that game.
There's
Jay,
no
you taking
chance
the
they're
Niners?
scoring any points there.
Jay, you taking the Niners?
Yeah. Does a one-legged duck swim in a circle?
Yeah, Vizzo Joe's taking the Niners. DJ Profit's taking the Niners.
DJ.
Sean gave us a layup.
Yeah, we thought we had a layup with the Falcons game when we all missed that one against the Niners. and I forgot last week. Kyle check 1, Philly check 2, Green Bay check 3, Detroit. Did Washington win last week?
No,
No.
Dallas destroyed them.
Who did? Oh, Dallas.
Dallas
That's right.
beat
Yeah.
the shit out of them, dude.
Yeah.
So Kyle, last week you were 4-2. Bruce, check. Wrong. Bruce also 4-2. Me, check.
I got all mine right.
Not bad.
Wrong.
At least I didn't get any wrong. I'll tell you that.
Jason was 9-0 last week in the pick six.
Well, I'll just let you guys know. I had my worst week. I went 2-4. I had Atlanta, Washington. Oh, actually 3-3. Sorry, 3-3. I had Detroit.
Did I just
No,
take
there
the
was like
lead?
2 weeks ago where we were all like 1-5 or whatever.
Did I just take the lead, Sean? I think I did.
I think you did. Relentless Mikey, check. Who's conspicuous by his absence? Check. Wrong.
DJ and Vizzo are Niners and Niners.
4-2.
Wait.
All right, I'll get these standings. Bizzo, Joe, and DJ. You said Niners. All right, the next one. The next one. I mean, there's not really a lot of great games. Who's on Monday night next week? Kansas City and Washington. I mean, the games this week, guys, are not that great.
Well, you can give us, Sean. You can give 2 shitty teams
Yeah.
if they're playing each other.
Commanders and Chiefs on Monday. So
How about the Giants and the Eagles?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a
Oh.
good game to call.
The Giants just beat the shit out of the
Yeah.
Eagles 2 weeks ago, dude. That was an
Yeah.
ass whooping,
Yeah.
dude.
I
Sean,
think Philly comes back prepared
Sean,
this time. I'm
Prof-
gonna take
Prophet
Philly.
says, what's the Thursday night game?
Oh shit! I forgot about
Oh
Thursday.
yeah, Vikings and Chargers tomorrow.
Vikings and oh, that's a good one.
That's
Okay,
a damn
Vikings and
good
Chargers. Let's do that. Good
Yeah,
call,
yeah.
DJ.
So are we doing Eagles or no?
Yeah, Sean,
Yeah,
let's do
we'll do the
Eagles.
Eagles game
All right,
too.
because
Eagles
Prophet,
Eagles versus,
Prophet's got the Eagles and Visual Joe's got the Eagles. I've got the Eagles.
Eagles.
I got the Eagles.
Eagles.
All right, we all got Eagles. Sean?
I'm gonna get Philly with their revenge.
Yeah.
I mean, if they lose, I'd be
I'm done with the Eagles.
surprised. But
Yeah, if they lose, I'm done with the Eagles. Sean, Visual Joe has the Chargers.
Vizzo has
Chargers.
LAC.
DJ's Chargers.
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 Jay, you took Philly too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Bruce has the Chargers.
Bruce, where's Bruce on here? Bruce, LAC. Kyle, you going LAC?
Oh, hell yeah. Fuck the Vikings.
I'm going LAC too because I'm.
Sean, I don't think Sean's ever seen me more excited about a football game outside of the Bears than the Vikings losing on Sunday.
Yeah.
I looked at.
I
I
gotta
mean,
catch up here. I'm gonna go Vikings.
Carson Wentz sucks.
You're gonna go Queens.
Yeah.
Sean, where is that game?
It is in Los Angeles.
Yes, yeah, I'm going Chargers.
Yeah.
Dome or dome. I don't even think it's gonna make that big of a difference.
And then
Yeah,
we
but the
have
Vikings are really good at home, man. They're damn
Yeah.
good at home. They're like the Seahawks, man. Going
Yeah.
into Minnesota or Seattle, those are
Yeah.
tough places to play, man. Sean,
DJ's going Vikings.
no,
wait.
he picked the Chargers. He's just making big. He said
Oh, man.
Vikings.
Cowboys versus Broncos. Yeah, we could do that one as the last one.
Yeah, hell
That's a
yeah,
great
that's a good game.
Denver
Broncos.
is at home, a 3.5 point favorite over the Dallas.
Dude, that
Cowboys.
Cowboys
Yeah.
offense is legit.
Dude,
Yeah,
really
yeah,
is.
yeah.
It is legit.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go Cowboys, man.
Yeah.
I'm
Cowboys.
gonna go Cowboys. DJ Prophet's going Broncos.
I think I'm gonna go Denver too.
I'm gonna go Denver too.
Yeah.
Their defense is really good. Patrick Surtain is.
Who went
Yeah.
Broncos? DJ.
We'll go Cowboys.
Vizzo Joe's going Cowboys.
Yeah.
Denver.
Yeah, Dak.
Yeah.
The Dak
DJ,
is
I'm
legit.
winning in one of my
Yeah.
fantasy football leagues because I have like four
Yeah.
Cowboys on.
Kyle, would you take?
I'm taking the Cowboys. I
Yeah.
CD Lamb is just changes. He makes that team
Yeah.
so much better. It's crazy, dude.
They were already really good, man.
Yes.
Hell yeah, dude. That's the
Yeah,
pick six.
DJ. The only thing about Dak is go back and look at MVPs in recent history in the NFL. If you don't make the playoffs, you don't make the list.
Yeah, it's very interesting, man. You know, this team is really, really the Cowboys offense is really, really good, and their defense seems to be picking it up a little bit. They could be dangerous. I had them pegged at 7-10 to start the year. They're 3-3 right now. So
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
if that Cowboys offense continues to do what it's doing, man, they're a
Their
tough
defense sucks.
team.
They'll just outscore everybody.
Yeah, but I think Matt Eberflus will get a little bit better every week. I think they're going to plateau as like the 20th best defense in the NFL, but right now they're like 28th. I think they will get to like that 20th, 19th, 18th. Matt Eberflus is a good defensive coordinator. He's just not a good coach. Not a good head coach.
I don't know.
I mean, it also wasn't very fair to him to trade away your best player a week before the
of
season
course,
started.
but
That sucks.
Yeah.
Matt Eberflus was like, "Damn it."
did you guys hear? And I'm trying to see if I can download this right now. Those Chiefs fans that got kicked out of the stadium. Hold on. All right. We're going to add this. I got to show you guys this video. This is the most ridiculous ejection of fans in the history of ejection of fans, dude. Hold on. I got to load it up. I got to load it up really quick. Give me 1 second. I won't end the show.
Yeah, hey, DJ, I was actually talking to Jason and Sean on Tuesday or yesterday, and I said I think Al Harris is going to be a head coach or definitely defensive coordinator, if not a head coach next year. And that sucks for us because we're going to lose one of our best coaches, but that's good. You know
what though?
If they're picking coaches off your team, that's a good sign.
that means you got.
I was going to say, I trust him to find the proper replacement.
Yes, me too. Dude, you know what was awesome? That new defensive coordinator for the Lions is legit.
Calvin Shepard, dude, he's a stud.
That guy's a psychopath, dude. He looks like he's going to jump on the field and play middle linebacker at any given moment.
And you know what though? He's got that attitude that his players want to fucking go through a wall for him, dude.
Yeah,
Like
100%.
here, check this out. It's about
he's
a minute
energetic.
long, but this is ridiculous, dude.
Fucking dollars.
So we're being kicked out for code of conduct, and our code of conduct was what?
That you are disrupting the enjoyment of
because we were standing up cheering for the Chiefs.
excessively, yes.
Excessively cheering for the Chiefs.
No, excessively standing.
Excessively standing.
We were only cheering when they're on the
So
field.
standing up and cheering when the Chiefs are on the field is excessive.
No, like I said,
That's what we were doing.
They observed that you were non-compliant and that you never sat down.
We sat down during timeouts and stoppages of play.
Sit down when they weren't on the
The second time the lady walked by, she was sitting down.
I was
So
sitting
what
down.
is? So I don't understand how it's a code of conduct issue for standing up cheering.
Again, I have told you that it's a non-compliance issue. If you have further issues with our decision, then you can call into the Chiefs on Monday. But I can assure you there will not be a refund because it was a code of conduct violation.
And just so I'm clear, the code of conduct violation was standing up and cheering.
Standing excessively.
Hey, do you guys stand up and cheer for the Chiefs? No. No?
Well,
All
yeah,
right.
you're a fucking Lions fan.
Can you believe that?
That's
Yeah.
the dumbest thing. The NFL
Yeah.
gives them their money back. I
Yeah.
guarantee you. And probably more.
Yeah.
Dude, Taylor Swift has ruined the Chiefs.
Yeah.
They're the most sensitive team in football. Man.
Gee.
I saw.
You're cheering for your team. Like what
I
is
saw. I saw you guys. I saw a post.
Dude,
There was a post about Patrick Mahomes. Somebody posted that he walks like he has a stick up his ass, and the comments were like, "This guy has a family and people that matter to him." I'm like, "You guys, are you kidding? That bothered you? Who gives a shit? Are you kidding? How sensitive? I mean, come on, guys." And to be honest with you guys, he kind of does. He kind of does walk like that.
we live in a pussy ass society, dude.
Come on, man. Excessive standing? Dude, Sean, what have we seen? What we've seen at Bears games? Jason, what we've seen at Bears games? They could have kicked out the whole stadium in a Bears game. Are you kidding me, dude? I've seen some of the most.
me and our buddy Johnny had our buddy Chris upside down, and we're jamming his legs like we were pile driving his head into the concrete. Nobody from security came anywhere near us.
Dude,
people were cheering.
Jason, Sean and I went to Family Fest in a non-drinking section, and we didn't choose the non-drinking section. We just happened to be the section, and the seat in front of everybody has a sign that says "No drinking in this section." This guy behind us was absolutely obliterated, and he had like 38 kids. He had like a school bus of kids, like he was like part of some program. He couldn't, and then he comes out and he's sitting next to Sean and I, and he's like, "Babe, I lost Timmy. I can't find Timmy." I'm like, this shit is like a TV show. I'm like, if I don't get away from this guy, I'm gonna punch him in the face. This guy was the most obnoxious human being I've ever been around in my entire life.
Obnoxious, dude.
Excessive standing.
Dude, I don't even understand how that is a thing. You pay to
It's
go
not
to
a thing.
game.
It's not a thing until that lady, that Karen right there, made it a thing. It was never a thing.
Oh, Zion Williamson, that's a good one, DJ.
There's two 80-year-olds sitting behind them. They were like, "Oh, please shut down. We can't see."
Yeah, we can't see.
All right, well then get the fuck out of the stadium and go watch.
I wonder what happened with the Chiefs in their front office when they got. Those people called on Monday.
Oh, 100%.
Oh,
kicked
yeah.
me out of the stadium for cheering for the team that I love
At home. At home.
The Chiefs ownership is going to be like, "Are you guys Taylor Swift fans?" Yeah. Okay, you're fine. We'll refund your money.
The best part was, did you root for the Chiefs today? No. Oh, you're a fucking Lions.
Well, he was in a Lion. In his defense, he was in a Lions jersey. Yeah. Somebody in the chat here put something in here. I should have brought it up earlier, but it was actually a very interesting point. I don't remember who it was. I think it might have been DJ, but somebody said Justin Fields would be a great backup for the Ravens.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
That would be a perfect situation for Justin to back up Lamar Jackson on the Baltimore Ravens. They would score more than 3 points.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, that shit with
That'd
Justin
be awesome.
Fields and Derrick Henry in the backfield. They're scoring more than 3 points.
Oh yeah.
Hey, boys and girls. I think we've reached that time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
We're getting slap happy, guys. We're all
Yeah,
old.
and-
It's bedtime.
and don't forget,
don't forget, because we have an exciting announcement. On November 1st, we're going to have the season finale of the Northside 9, and the one, the only voice of the Chicago Cubs, Alex Cohen, is going to join us. It's going to be a little bit of an earlier show because of his schedule. He needs us to be on in between 9:30 and 10 a.m. Kyle's going to die that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he asked me if we could go on. That's going to be an awesome show. He's going to give us great insight to what the Cubs are doing, what he expects the Cubs to do this offseason. We're going to take a look back at what was a very fun 2025 season. So hopefully you Cubby fans.
Sean, maybe you could put together a bunch of 8-second videos of the great moments. It'd be nice if it was one video, but we don't want to get sued by this.
Yeah, we don't want to get sued. So don't forget, we're going to continue to talk about that over the next couple of weeks until the day after Halloween, which I'm going to be really hungover for that show, dude. I get hammered on Halloween.
Yeah.
And 9:30 in the morning.
Great. So I'm going to be sleeping from getting home at 5 a.m. from work, and Sean's going to be hungover. Alex Cohen's going to be like, "Get me the hell out of here!"
Coming back to this podcast
I'll be ready.
again.
I'll be ready.
What did I sign up for?
This is welcome to Northside 9.
Yes.
I'm gonna take a shot of coffee.
Guys. And also, guys, we also have some more interesting. Like we're going to start. Yeah. We've talked about. We're going to start raffling off some jerseys, stuff like that, guys. Yeah. Stay tuned, please. We're going to get more engaged with our listeners or our chat here. And please, please hit the like and subscribe button. And if you guys can, it would help us out a lot if you shared this show with some of your friends, man.
Yes.
If you guys enjoy this. Get some more
John
people
S.
here.
Was our winner on the Northside 9.
Yeah.
He has a photo. It should be here this week. And John, as soon as I get that, I'm going to turn around and flip it out to you.
Yes.
So hopefully you should have that sometime by next week. I haven't received it yet, but it is a Dan Hampton autograph. I was looking for something Cubs, but I figured you wouldn't care Bears or Cubs. But we got one coming out to you. We want to start running some contests. And
John's like, I'm a Vikings fan. And also, who was it in the chat? I forgot. It was DJ's. Whoever's going to the game out of Baltimore, have fun, man.
James.
Yeah, James. You got to come back and let us know how the atmosphere is, so on. So
And don't forget, boys and girls, tomorrow at 11:30, burn the midnight oil with Brandon and Dustin. They'll be giving their take on this Bears-Ravens game. And
what happens if you can't watch it that late?
I would grab a cup of coffee and check them out in the the morning on my way to work. That's what I'll
be doing. That's what I'm doing.
That's what Bruce will be doing.
Yeah, go to work.
Everybody, take care of yourselves.
Yep.
Take care of each other.
Hold on, Kyle, because the coach has to speak.
Good, better, bad! Never let it rain! Never let it rain! You're gonna get better! You're gonna get better! You better get better! You better get better! Bears on 3! 1, 2, 3! Bears!
God, I love that.
Hits principle.
Yes. Bear best.
Hustle. Intensity.
Yes. Sir.
Hey, we love y'all. Thank you so much, Kyle.
Thanks, everybody.
Kyle?
Oh, yeah. Take care of yourselves. You can take care of each other. We appreciate you guys. Love you guys, man.
Love you guys. Bear down, everybody.
Bear
We'll
down.
see you next week.
Bear down.